Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. Talk about it. Tell the truth. God and country in the booth. We stand strong. We hold the line. Won't shut up. Not this time. Hands on heart, eyes up high. We were made to testify. Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. God and country. We stand right. Truth on fire. We won't hide. USA. USA. Side by side. Let them hear us. Clear and loud. One small voice can move a crowd. Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. God and country. We stand right. Truth on fire. We won't hide. USA. USA. Side by side.
Marco, it's done. I bought Cuba, the whole island. They didn't even know it was for sale. Neither did I until this morning. But I saw it on a map. I liked the shape. I made some calls, and now it's ours. Very fast transaction. Probably the fastest country purchase in history.
Sir, you bought a country? That's never been done. I don't even think that's legal.
Marco, everything I do has never been done. That's the whole point. And I didn't buy it. I'm saving it. Havana's got no lights, no food, no money. Very sad. The whole thing's a disaster. And I save sad places the only way I know how. I build a Trump Tower, beachfront, 90 miles from Miami, gold everything. You don't walk away from that, Marco. Nobody walks away from that.
Sir, my parents left Havana before I was born. This means everything to me.
Even more emotional. Beautiful. The cameras are going to love that. Grab a bag. We're going today.
Today? But sir.
Marco, I don't schedule things. I just go. That's what winners do. Losers make plans. Winners make history. And we're winners. Don't worry, Cuba. El Trumpo is here to save you. That's my Spanish name, by the way. El Trumpo, very powerful, very presidential. The people are going to love it.
President Trump, welcome to Havana. I am the president of Cuba. We are a proud, sovereign nation, and we are doing fantastic.
I'll sign your autograph in a second. Actually, you're hired, building manager. Here, hold my jacket.
Sir, that's the actual president of Cuba.
Even better. He stuck around to help. That's loyalty, Marco. Very rare. Most presidents disappear after a sale. This one's greeting us at the door. 5-star service. Marco, look at this city. Beautiful. Old. Very, very old, actually. Looks like Rome if Rome gave up and stopped trying. The whole island is a fixer-upper. Nobody sees the potential. I see it. I always see it. I saw it in Manhattan. I saw it in Venezuela. And I see it here.
Sir, Atlantic City didn't go so great.
Marco, stop dwelling on the past. This is the future. Cuba.
It is not a fixer-upper. It is paradise. We have culture. We have history. The most beautiful sunsets in the Caribbean.
You can't eat a sunset. Your people are starving. I saw a guy on the corner trading a shoe for a sandwich. One shoe. Not even a pair. What kind of economy runs on a single shoe? No lights anywhere. It's like camping. Beautiful, peaceful camping that never ends. Don't worry, my tower will have the best lights in the Caribbean. Light up the whole city. You'll see Havana from space.
The lights are off on purpose. We are saving them.
Saving them for what? A special occasion? It's been 60 years. When's the occasion? You couldn't even turn them on for me? Unbelievable.
Sir, to be fair, the sunsets are beautiful.
Marco, you can see sunsets anywhere. You know what you can't see anywhere? A Trump Tower. And that's what we're building. Look at these cars. 1957, 1958, all of them. It's not a city. It's the world's biggest classic car show. The cars just don't move. Don't worry. I'll bring the fuel. I'll build the gas stations. I'll have all of Havana moving again in 6 months.
Our cars are not broken. They are vintage. Collectors would weep if we...
They are weeping because the cars don't have engines. Marco, you're Cuban. This is your homeland. Talk to the people. Tell them the good news in Spanish.
Hola.
Very fluent. That's the whole language right there.
Thank you. That's 40 years of practice, sir.
Very good. Now tell them I'm saving their city.
Hola.
He said it twice. They got the message. Very effective communication. This is why I brought him.
He only said hello. That is one word. Twice.
And it landed, didn't it? Look at their faces. They're moved. The old lady is fanning faster. That's excitement. And right here, this spot, right on the Gulf of America, is where it goes. Trump Tower, Havana. Tallest building in the Caribbean. Solid gold. Visible from Miami. Visible from space.
That's incredible, sir. Do you need me to tell them anything else? I'm dying to speak more Spanish.
Just a second, Marco. Okay, I want the lobby here, casino there, golf course right along the water, best golf, Caribbean golf, and the whole thing has my name on it in letters so big the astronauts can read it.
That is the seawall. People fish there.
Not anymore. Now it's a monument. Very generous of me. And we're not breaking ground tomorrow. We're breaking ground right now. Get to work, guy.
Ouch!
He brought his own shovel, and it's gold.
You cannot do this. I am the president of Cuba.
Well, no, I bought Cuba, so it's the 52nd state now, behind Venezuela. Canada, you're next. And you, jacket guy, tour guide, best energy in Havana. You're running the place. Full benefits, dental, maybe vision. We'll see. Very generous package.
Sir, that is the president of Cuba for the third time.
Fine. I guess he can be the manager then. Okay. We'll check back in a few months. I'm hungry, Marco. Let's go.
Adios, Cuba.
3 words now. He's trilingual, unstoppable. I'm very confident he'll know 4 words by next week. To Cuba, you were in trouble. Now you're not, because your favorite president showed up with a gold shovel and a dream and subscribed to the Baby News Network. Even Cuba, especially Cuba. I'm very confident the Wi-Fi will work once my tower's up. God bless America, God bless Cuba, and God bless this Havana banana, which is tremendous, by the way. Cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Let's go, Marco. More cha-chas.
Sir, I'm trying.
I don't know what's going on here. Buttons aren't pushing.
That was
Anyways.
the longest one yet, but dang, that was good. That was really good. Hello, everybody in the chat room. Hello, everybody watching right now in your homes all across the United States of America. I'm CharLee Simons. That is Mike Cook, and this is CharLee and Mike Talk About It. Welcome to the big old bad old broadcast. August 18th, is it already? August is already more than halfway over.
I know, right?
How did that happen? What the heck? So, Mike, how was your day?
I don't know. You're saying August. I feel like it's January. It's cool. Except that it's warm outside. So, my day was, it was a day. It was I was cleaning my daughter's car out because I have to drive it to. I have to drive it up north to it's Northwest College. She goes to college on Thursday, and so we're driving. My wife's driving her car or her Jeep, and I'm driving my daughter's car up there. She didn't like driving on the highway. But I wasn't going to drive that thing with 30 bags of clothes in it. I mean, that girl needs to do something with her clothes other than store them in her car. I'm just saying. But what do you do?
Your story is fascinating.
Yeah.
But
Well,
so that was your day. Did you have air conditioning at least?
no.
First world problems.
I know, right?
Do you need air conditioning in Missouri? I guess you do.
You're kind of sketchy. I don't know if it's just on me on my end, but you're kind of sketchy.
Sketchy in what way?
Yeah, you sound like you're in a box and your face all blurry.
You know what? My face is blurry. Shut up. Are you serious? I got my new fancy dancy home Wi-Fi set up here.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I'll blame you though.
Let me check the settings right now. Let me check the audio. Make sure. Well, no wonder why. Bet you can hear me better now.
Absolutely. Sounds 1,000 times better.
But this is not what I wanted to use. I wanted to use that right there. That's what I actually thought I was using.
That's still even better.
Of course it is.
This is people watch my show. They know this is technical difficulty. This is the way it works.
Good.
If they want fancy high-end production, they can go watch Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens or Stu Peters or something.
Tucker Carlson. Again, I heard a talk show host guy on the radio today talking about that interview. It was actually a caller calling in asking what the hell has happened to Tucker Carlson, how he went after, as you and I pointed out last week, how he went after two great people, Senator Ted Cruz, and he went after Mike Huckabee, and he was very rude to them. And then he has Hunter Biden on, and it's just like nothing but candy cane lollipops and a beautiful hot chocolate fudge river. It was so nice.
Chocolate fudge river.
Yeah, just made that up.
Are we watching the Wonka show or what?
That or OnlyFans. But I paused there for effect for anybody who got that joke. So, and I apologize for anybody who got that joke. But my adventure today was going to a dermatologist. First time I've been to one in 16 years. Do you remember WKRP, that TV show, WKRP in Cincinnati? Where Les Nessman, the news guy, every single episode had a Band-Aid somewhere that was visible on him.
Yes.
Every episode.
Yes.
He always had a Band-Aid somewhere. I got one right there. I got one here. I got stitches. This woman worked with the meticulous precision of a UAW auto worker. I guess that's redundant, but just on an assembly line, boom, 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 starts burning, starts cutting, starts digging, starts poking and needling, and all over my body.
Well,
now,
that sounds inconvenient.
Remember, I'm a good 30 pounds heavier than I was when I went to see the dermatologist 16 years ago. And so they tell me as they're leaving before the doctor came in to strip down to nothing but underwear, shoes and socks off, everything off. I was not anticipating that. I was wearing my thin fabric boxers that don't hide very well, don't hide things well. And I'm sitting there in just my boxer shorts, feeling very self-conscious about my stupid fat body, soon to be skinnier now that I'm doing Nueva Life, nuevalife.com/CharLee Simons. And she comes walking, there it is. Yeah, chocolate sauce that makes your pants fall off. And it's happening.
True.
It's happening to me. But anyway, she walks in. First time ever being to this clinic, seeing this doctor, gorgeous. And sometimes my mouth just shoots off before I even stop it. And I just said, oh, of course you would have to be really good looking. She was gorgeous. And so now I'm really feeling self-conscious and ridiculous in my thin fabric underwear. And as she proceeds to just boom, 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 burning. You know the smell of burning flesh? I'm smelling my own flesh that's being burned on me. And I asked her, how long did it take you, by the way, to get used to that smell? And she goes, well, it did take a while. Imagine, because that sucks. Anyway, that was my day. Hello, everybody. We got plenty of stuff to share with you. And Mike, you got a bunch of writing on your face. Can you tilt your camera down a little bit?
No. Doggone, you're so picky.
I am. I'm a TV guy, remember? Although you don't have much headroom to work with there, do you? So
Well,
never mind.
I can mess
You're just
with it
gonna
a
have
little
words
bit.
on your
There
face.
you go. How's that? Is that better?
That's
Are you
good.
well? So if we're fixing me, let's fix you. You're like delayed all over the place. I think you need to. Think you need to completely drop out of StreamYard and log back in. So while he's doing that,
Okay, I'll do that.
while he's doing that, uh, let's talk about something else that I don't really have queued up, but that's okay. That's okay because we're experiencing technical difficulties. Actually, he's back, so we can go back to the previously scheduled something to talk about because and I think it's going to work better. I think this is going to fix the trick. Yeah, that's 1,000 times better. You just had whatever pipe you were running through wasn't working. I think that's the problem.
I fixed it right when you fixed it.
That was weird.
Mike and I both run our own boards when we do our own separate shows. And
That's
so
right.
sometimes I have to relinquish control. I forget. Just let Mike handle it. Anyway, I just got back from serving 5 days on post at a U.S. Army base. Well, actually, take that back. National Guard base. Can't really call it U.S. Army.
So since you said that, the controversy, I didn't even plan on talking about this. The controversy that's been going on with the Navy and their ships out there, and all of the bad situations that they're having.
I'm not going to name any names, but we Army and Air Force guys were really making fun of the Navy guys.
Well, I don't think the Navy nor the Air Force need to complain about living conditions.
Hell no, they got the best. You're right. They eat better than everyone else. What pissed me off was when the media reported that there were disgruntled Marines. Morale was bad and all this stuff. It's a lie. It's a flippin' frickin' lie. And these guys they've been out at sea. They've been, where they are in the strait there for over 200 days. And that is unprecedented. That's a lie too. That's not unprecedented at all.
World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the first Gulf War. And when I heard about it, I was thinking about, it was complaining. They were complaining that the eggs were running. That was one of the things they complained about. I said, I ate from September 4th to the end of May. September 4th, 1990 or 90? It was 1990. To the end of May of 91, I ate nothing but MREs. That's it. It's all. They don't have the good MREs like y'all have today. You went out there and played G.I. Joe in the wood.
MREs while Mike stops freezing now that he's all frozen up.
I wasn't freezing. You were freezing.
I froze? Oh, really? Because you're the one that froze, at least on my screen. God darn it. I'm paying some money that I don't want to be paying for this home internet Wi-Fi thing. Verizon.
Well, there's your problem. But anyways, what was I saying? So
I was
MREs.
explaining what an MRE is for anybody who doesn't know. MRE stands for meals ready to eat. You have a choice of between 4 to 5, maybe. So by the time you've gone through a couple of days, you've burned through every single choice there is, if you even have a choice. Sometimes they're just tossed to you. Simon's, here's yours. And you don't get any choice. And there's this
omelet with ham.
Yeah, there's this weird little oven
Tuna with noodles.
This little oven thing in there, which all it is an envelope, and you pour water in it.
And the new ones suck compared to the old ones.
It's weird, especially when you have some guys who don't realize that's scalding hot water, and they pick it up to take it out, and of course it goes all over their hands and everything else, and the next thing you know, they're screaming as they're trying to enjoy their meal. But it's very calorie dense, a lot of salt because you're out in the field, supposedly, allegedly, and you're going to need more salt because you're sweating more. No, not necessarily. It depends on what your duty is. But these meals, for the most part, predominantly are horrible. So you're grateful for them. You know what it's better than? Nothing.
That's true.
Better than nothing.
Well, let me just say this, though. The ones they have today are way better than the ones they had in 1990. The dehydrated pork patty. That's what I lived on for however long it was, 9-10 months.
I've
And
never
here
experienced
you've
that one.
You know, the Frankfurters with the gel on there, you know, the ham slice, the stinky cheese. I don't remember what it's called, but the stinky cheese.
Uh-huh.
Those, of course, you know, omelet with ham or your grits, which were the same. You couldn't tell the difference. It looked like Play-Doh. Had the consistency of dried out Play-Doh. I mean, they were bad. But
Everything's dehydrated. It has to be, you know, because those things have got the shelf life of a couple of 100 years, and they're packed by big, huge, giant corporations who really, honestly, don't care. They just want to get the government contract because it's lucrative, and it comes in this dark brown kind of, I guess it's plastic. It's very thick, and it's about this tall and about this long, right? Not that wide. And that's your MRE right there.
I remember the day, I probably have one close by.
So these idiots on board, everybody knows in the military service, especially Navy, the absolute creme de la creme of service is on board an aircraft carrier.
Oh yeah, they got like
Best of the best.
Yeah, they got everything.
Mhm.
And well, the best of the best is in the rear garrison at the Air Force Base.
Oh,
I mean, you go into the Air Force Base and there's white tablecloths and guys standing there in their dress blues with their white gloves and the little, your seats, you know.
I think he's probably exaggerating, but
No, I'm not. It's would you like the caviar menu?
It's a menu. There's different choices. Yeah, may I have the non-dehydrated caviar, please? It's a jar of Potskie's salmon eggs.
You know, and us, when I was out there, you know, out there in the desert eating our MREs, trying to keep the sand flies off of it, then this little towel head guy comes driving up on a
That's
20
racist.
20cc. Well, he had a towel on his head. What do you want me to say? The 20cc moped was strapped to the back of it as a KFC box, and he's selling bags of KFC chicken out the back of this moped.
$20.
And I'm thinking to myself, we're 300 miles from anywhere. Where did the heck did the KFC chicken come from? The guys are buying this. You want some, cook? No. I don't want 6-day-old KFC chicken. That's been warmed up by the motor on a 20cc moped.
That is salmonella on two wheels.
That's something. I don't know.
Dang.
But you know, so we're talking about, you know, the difference between the Navy and their runny eggs and the Air Force and their maitre d's and caviar and
Filet mignon.
What the regular Army and or Marine Corps has to live like, right? Like this. You know,
Wait, let me put my glasses on.
It says, I'm pissed.
My mommy didn't complain to the media about my living condition overseas or if I needed some sugar, titty, and milk.
Get him, Marine. Get him. That's killer.
I've been there. Right there, you know. I've been there. Maybe not there, but close enough for Candace Owens. I've been there.
Close enough for Candace Owens. Well, what you got on Candace Owens? Have you what's the latest with her? That lovely married woman
Owens
converted to Catholicism.
She's a beautiful woman, don't you know? She had a wing ding here this Monday.
Is that what these kids are calling it these days? A wing ding?
Wing dings, yeah. A get together, a soiree. Patrick Ben David moderated a debate.
Hootenanny.
A hootenanny, yeah, between Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. Of course, it's all over the internet. It's
oh my goodness, I haven't seen this. I was on post. I've been in radio silence for 5 days. That is awesome.
Owens, absolutely slaughtered Andrew Wilson. Okay, if you just listen to all the Candace Owens people, just slaughtered him, just beat him down.
I don't believe that at all.
And all of the stuff.
He is brilliant. He is brilliant.
I'm being facetious. I mean,
I would hope so, because I just can't even imagine that. I'd imagine it was probably quite the opposite. So you said it was the Candace fans who were saying all this. I gotcha. Okay.
It was the Candace fans.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
Absolutely mopped the floor. And before we get to the video I have lined up here, let me do one other thing.
I was hoping you would.
I think I got this. Well, you know, You always want to bring the truth. I just want to read the headline from the Babylon Bee because, tomorrow's news today. I don't want to read the whole article, just the headline. It says, Candace, if you don't count the video, the DNA, the murder weapon, ballistics, motive, text messages, and multiple confessions, there's zero evidence against
Yep.
And when you read the article in there, the experts say she's got a point. I mean, it's completely delusional and she's out of her mind, but if you discount all the evidence, there's no evidence. So
I will just never. Nobody can explain to me, especially if it's a 30-06, why there's no exit wound, and why his T-shirt moved. Why did his T-shirt move?
Easy to explain. I can look up the video. Maybe when you're talking about something up, I will. There's a video out there of a guy that goes deer hunting with a 50 caliber sniper rifle. Okay. And you want to know why
what you got on the other side? You're going to have an exit wound with that.
Well, let me finish the story. Okay.
Okay.
Why did the T-shirt move? It's called kinetic energy. The guy, he was on it. He said, I'm going to tell you all the truth up front. I didn't, these rounds are $20 a piece. So I didn't want to go out in the woods and waste a round. So I'm on a controlled ranch where they put the deer out there, blah, blah, blah. Right. And he said, so the deer comes walking in and standing by this little tree stump and he fires, pow! And the deer drops, boom. And he's like, okay, we're going to go get the deer. We're going to see what happens when a 50 cal ammo hits a deer. I think I got a headshot on it. We're going to go. So he comes back. They had high-speed cameras on it and had it all set up. That's why they were at a ranch where they could control it, right? Because they had he goes, you guys aren't going to believe this, but I missed. I didn't hit the deer at all. And in the high-speed camera, you can see the round go right by the deer's head. And as it goes by the deer's head, you can see the shock wave just ripple through the deer's head like this in slow motion. And the deer drops. The force of that round going by the deer's head caused the brains to liquefy. And he killed that deer without hitting it. Dropped that deer right there just because the supersonic round of that 50 cal and as much as kinetic energy was just going by that deer, drop that deer right there.
Now you got a nice clean head to mount.
So when you get hit in the neck with a 30-06, the energy, that's why you had this happening. It wasn't just his T-shirt, by the way. If you go watch it in slow motion, his whole body rippled. Okay. The other thing was,
why would the T-shirt go up instead of down?
Because of the kinetic, because the impact and the kinetic energy coming off the round. Now, okay, here's the reason. He was using a soft tip round that was designed to
Charlie
expand.
Kirk had really strong neck muscles, and it
No, listen, you'll learn something. There's different kinds. The rounds that he was using were not full metal jacket. They were soft hit, designed to expand and disintegrate on impact. They're designed to expand and then come to pieces on impact. That's what they're designed to do. There's two reasons to use those. In my 40 caliber defense carry round, I have what's called zombie rounds. These rounds have a green plastic tip on them. They got a huge expanding range.
Oh, that's the DRT, right? The dead right there.
And it's not about killing people. That's not why I have them. Because I used to live in a trailer park. And, if I shot full metal jacket, 40 millimeter rounds at somebody in my trailer.
Keep going. The next trailer, the next
30 trailers. Yeah, the whole park would have a round go through their trailer. But these, they would not go through sheetrock, 2 layers of sheetrock, because they would expand so much that it would take all that energy and dissipate it.
Isn't that going to affect your trajectory some too? It's not going to be as accurate. A sniper would never use a round like that.
Yeah, but he wasn't a sniper. He was a kid using his grandpa's gun, the bullets that grandpa bought to go hunting.
Okay. Those are the bullets
at 150 yards. At 150 yards with a 30-06 bolt action gun, anybody that shot it a couple of times can't miss. And matter of fact, he did miss. I'm going to tell you, missed right now, because his grandpa told him to aim small, miss small. He was aiming here, and when he shot, he pulled it.
Interesting.
He shot up and to the right, which
So he
is
was-
what a novice shooter is going to do when he shoots.
was-
He's going to shoot up and to the right.
He thought he was going to get he was aiming for the heart. Then,
Basically.
Okay.
So let me
Got it.
finish my thoughts since we're on that subject. When
Yeah.
that round with the soft tip, it hit CharLee in the neck, it expanded, and the force of the energy and the expanse caused that round to shatter, which is why the autopsy says there was only fragments that went and hit his neck, hit his vertebrae, shattering and destroying 2 of his vertebrae and severing his a portion of his, whatever they call it, nerve there, and then went down. It was coming at a down angle, so it ricocheted down and into his chest cavity. That's why there was no out, because it went in and into here and did massive damage here. He was dead before he fell over.
Well, if only we had the results of an autopsy and they actually buried the body instead of cremating it.
We have the result of the autopsies. They presented it as evidence, and they didn't cremate the body. It was announced the day that a few days after, that they were going to have a celebration of, I had fireworks and stuff at the funeral. It wasn't a funeral. It was a celebration of life, and that the funeral and the burial will happen at an undisclosed location with a few family members, because they didn't want Candace Owens, they didn't say this, I'm saying this, Candace Owens showing up and peeing on the grave or some kind of craziness.
If she exhumed that body, she'd probably be doing a little necrophilia. I mean, I think she had a thing for Chuck.
She absolutely had a thing. She wanted to be Miss CharLee Kirk, and she got kicked to the curb when Erica came along. Absolutely. So those are facts. Those are facts that are there.
Hasn't Candace Owens been married a long time?
No, a few years.
Okay.
They met over the internet and then got married.
Okay, so she had the hots for Chuckles. I'm sorry, I loved CharLee Kirk. I actually went to see him live 3 times in person. I wish I could have met him, but once was with Mike here. We showed up at a convention. We met in Detroit and went to that People's Convention there, which was extraordinary. What a great experience! I'm so glad we were there, Mike. I'm so glad we were there, and we got to see that and experience all of that. That was a blessing. But anyway, no. So when I say Chuckles, I'm not going to be flippant. I just really admired CharLee Kirk. What an amazing kid, and he was just a kid, especially when he started doing that. It was a ministry. That was his ministry, for his sake. That was a God-blessed, divinely inspired ministry.
Hold on one second, CharLee. Hey, Mike, I know if you're still in the audience, or Marine, if you're still in the audience, watch that guy. We may have a troll going on here. So.
Oh, you got a troll in there? Remember the incantations. What incantations are those?
That's what I mean. That's the troll right there.
Oh, I started to bring it up on screen, so okay, I won't.
Yeah, don't mess with that one.
Okay.
And I'll see if Mike doesn't get him. I can't see what he's saying 100%, whether he's really being a jerk or not. But
what I'm reading doesn't seem to be, actually. But oh well. You have more experience with that than I do.
Well, I have a couple of my moderators are on my site, on my page, so I asked them to keep an eye. If he does something that goes against the rule, they know the rules. So, anyways, back to this this debate
between Candace and Andrews. Okay,
between
good.
And here's the synopsis.
I can't wait to see this
of the debate. Celebrity impersonated. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a joke.
It's always a joke with me. What are you talking about?
Thank both of you for sitting down to have the conversation. I love that.
That guy's funny.
Conversation. So, Andrew, thank you for taking the time to be here, and Candace, thank you for agreeing to accept the $300,000 it took you to be here. I love that. Andrew, let's start with you. What's your question for Candace?
Okay, so my question is, do you have any positive evidence that Israel or Erica Kirk or anyone at Turning Point USA was involved in the murder of CharLee Kirk?
I don't understand the question. I don't really know what you're asking, actually. If all you were disputing the evidence for the case against Tyler Robertson was not sufficient, I would be the last person to be challenging you. That's not why we're having this conversation. You have made claims asserting that you are 100% convinced that Erica Kirk is somehow complicit in CharLee Kirk's murder. I actually never said that. I have said what I feel, and I've said what I believe that I feel, that I know that I feel, and that's what I feel. I'm not going to change what I believe and what I feel and what I know. But I've never actually said that. You're little words in my mouth that I have not said. So what did you say? I look, I'm not going to play this like game with you where you just like demand that I say things a certain way. You didn't say that? Okay, I don't know what this game is that you're playing, but like I've literally never said that Erica Kirk or Israel is complicit or involved. I mean, I've said that I feel that they are certainly responsible in some way. I've said that they are definitely complicit. I never said they're actually complicit. I've never said they're complicit. I've said they're definitely complicit, or that they might be, or that I feel that they might be. I never said they're complicit. Okay, so you didn't say she was complicit. You said she was definitely complicit? I literally never said that. Because what you're saying is actually making my point stronger, not weaker. It's just like you can do this whole routine, okay, of like asking me questions and interrogating me like we're in court, like I'm on the stand, like you're my daddy, like I'm your bitch. I'm not going to play that game, okay? But I've never said those exact words. And I do have full confidence, and I stand by that I have full confidence, that I have 100% certainty that I know that I feel that. I never said that. What I'm saying is that
I know that I feel
that Tyler Robertson killed CharLee Kirk. If you're saying you don't find that convincing, that's fine. But you're making other claims outside of that, claims that you have to back up. It's literally not a claim. That's my opinion. So your claims are baseless, basically. And you're just leading a cult. I mean, it's literally not baseless because it's based on what I think and what I feel and what I know, and you're not going to control that. You can't tell me I'm not allowed to think and feel and believe what I think and feel. So you think that Israel was involved? I've not said that they were involved. I've literally never said they were actually involved. I said they were probably connected and responsible in some way. Wait, hang on. You literally said that thousands of times. I have not said 1,000 times that Israel was involved. You're just making up that number. You're just making up that number. Why don't you bring up my episodes? We can go back and count. You will not find 1,000. You're just making up numbers. This is how humans talk. It wasn't exactly 1,000. If you're going to say a number like 1,000, you should be able to back that up. Hey, Rob, how many people we have watching this?
Sounds like a Democrat.
1,000 live.
Hundreds of thousands?
Yeah.
Great. I'm not going to get into this whole back and forth game you're trying to play where you're just like asking me questions that you feel I have to answer. I don't have to do anything. I'm sorry. I'm not your slave. Okay. I'm not doing anything. This is a debate, and I'm using intuition, and I'm inferring that things don't feel right. Things don't look right, and they never did look right. And I'm not going to just because you demand it that I give you answers, I'm not going to give you those answers and get myself into some legal trouble. It's obviously beyond what I'm capable of doing, and I've never made those kind of claims. And so I've said what I feel, and I feel what I said, and I said what I feel, and combine those two, and you get seal. Kiss from a rose on the grave. Which grave? CharLee Kirk's. What? And I'm sorry, this doesn't end up about this story. You have 12 Israeli cell phones that day. You have Fort Huachuca. You have the surveillance footage. You have Tyler Robinson escaping with a limp, hiding under a tree where his rifle is, under that tree, going to a steakhouse, leaving a receipt. My source has the receipt. Who is it? Joe Kent? Maybe. I don't know. And then maybe did you just scat? I'm a scat man. Skimmy-dim-dim-dum-dum-dum. A dum 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 dum, skimmy dim dim dum 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 dum, speed up 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 up, but up 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 up, speed up up up, skimmy dim dim dum. Okay. I don't know what else I can say. You're just not standing by anything you've said. Okay, I want to get back to that, but before we do, can we take a quick break? I want to talk about shoes. Okay, sure. I love free speech.
So there you have it. That's basically how it went. Something like that. Similar to that.
I really do want to see it. Where is that? Where do you go to see that? I guess just YouTube it, right? Candace Owens.
Yeah, PBD's got it. It's all over the place though. I've got actual clips where I can go find, but it's just dumb. I mean, what you just seen there is a reasonable representation of it. He goes, you said that the Jews did it. Israel did it. That France did it. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I really didn't say that. You're saying I said that, but I didn't say that.
She really sounded like a Democrat for him.
You go over to Crowder.
That's the kind of crap
Crowder cut it up and then played the video for saying that after she said she didn't say that. So it was just, and here's the thing. I think Brian Cates was saying, no relation to Aaron, spelled with a C instead of a K. He says that that she's casting a spell on people. And that's why they're, oh, she won. Oh, I know it's, and they're, Erica Kirk is evil. How do you know Erica Kirk is evil? Do you even know the lady? Have you ever met her for real? Well, I just don't believe that a widow would act like that. Well, how's a widow supposed to act? I mean, everybody grieves differently anyways. Well, she should be grieving for a year or 2 or 3 or 10, the way I would or something. It's all stupid. The whole thing is stupid, in my opinion. It is absolutely designed. Kinoka the Great said it just the other day too. Exactly this. He said that the purpose of what Candace Owens was doing, and it has come out. I think I have the video. Let me stop right there because I think I have the video. Let me just. So this radical leftist guy with millions of followers, what's his name? Dirtbag, scumbag Joe something. I don't remember his name. Well, I'll have it here in a second if I find the video. But he basically said it out loud. Here it is right here. Here it is right. Hassan Parker, that's his name. And he's got millions of followers, and he's got a show just like us, but he's got millions of followers. I wonder how that happens. Just out of nowhere, having millions of followers. But anyways, he's a lefty.
Oh, really?
He's a lefty.
It's not. You're right. It's not possible if he's really new, like we are, like you say.
Well, he's not new. He's at
least not on Rumble. It's not possible. Maybe on YouTube and TikTok, but not on Rumble.
By the way, YouTube has just changed. YouTube has just changed the way they count your viewers and opened it up. And one of the reasons that people are saying that they did that is because Rumble is kicking their butt. Rumble's taking all their highest influencers because Rumble's paying them. So everybody go watch us on Rumble because Rumble's a free speech. Not the 100% free speech, but free speech.
It is for me. I have yet to have them delete one show or even give me any kind of warning. And
or slow down the algorithm or anything.
Not that I've seen, not that I've noticed.
Nope.
No, I'm doing all right. I got over 8,500 followers on there now, and I'm still.
Yeah, you're kicking my butt. You've got 2,000 more than I do.
Do I? That's just because I have guests on and they promote the shows and so on, with their folks. And you're just slugging it out every day, man. It's just you and your mic, your quiet mic. So
stop it. Let me play this video. Let me play this video for you.
Let's do it.
And I know I had no intentions of playing this video. It just sort of, the conversation led to it. Listen to this.
I can't speak out against this queen because this is a queen that successfully and single-handedly undermined the Republican initiative to martyrize CharLee Kirk and use that example to crack down on political dissent. She dropped a grenade on the discourse.
Remind me to tell you why that's so stupid.
So I'm with her. It's hard. It's hard for me. My brain says, no, it's probably Tyler Robinson. But my heart says, go, Candace, go. Keep cooking. Does that make sense? I can't like her tweets because she blocked me many, many years ago. This is before she became our hero. Okay. Many, many years ago, Candace Owens blocked me. I've not been a fan of Candace Owens. I am a fan now. I can't speak.
So there is this guy. He's the biggest podcaster on the left. Saying,
he is on the left. Okay.
Yeah, he is on the left.
I thought you were saying he's conservative.
He's a Muslim democratic socialist who believes in Sharia
another
law.
Hassan Piker then.
He straight up said, we want communism. Straight up, we want communism. That's who that guy is. And did you hear what he said? That what Candace Owens
one thing
was
I
doing,
caught in particular was that the Republican Party was complicit with the whole thing and involved in it to ramp up some kind of martyrdom thing about CharLee Kirk and to sway votes, which is just so retarded. I won't name names, and I don't want to ever act like I'm all that, but I've had conversations with people who are very high up in the party. And it was pretty much a given, and they were already in negotiation that CharLee Kirk was going to run as VP under J.D. Vance in 2028. They were grooming him to run for office. He was going to run for vice president. And that would have been a brilliant move. He would have done an extraordinary job at it. I was excited about that news. And then this happened. So if anything, it was the left stopping that from happening, because I think that would have been an unstoppable ticket. That would have been a dream team right there.
A queer leftist freak show taking out Charlie Kirk, and then this leftist guy praising Candace Owens for destroying the legacy of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And that's what this was all about. This was not, listen to me. I am not convinced that all these conspiracy theories are tied together, because I think the demonic spiritual part of it's tied together, but people are too stupid. But never let a crisis go to waste. That is the standing orders of the lefties.
It's Rahm Emanuel. That's right out of the Rahm Emanuel
their
manifesto.
playbook. Yes.
Yeah.
So they saw an opportunity. Charlie Kirk gets taken out. They saw an opportunity to separate MAGA from Trump. And then, so Candace, who before that was pretty conservative in everything she says, and then just like that flipped. And it was intentional. It was
I don't even watch her anymore, but not that I don't want to or have no interest in watching her. I just don't really watch any other podcasts. I don't
have a lot of time to watch podcasts either, but
I really just don't. When I'm away from it, I'm fine with talk radio. I have my favorites, but so I did not know that Candace Owens was no longer a conservative.
She was never a conservative. She played the part of a conservative.
You understand?
Okay, Candace Owens was an extreme leftist when she first hit the scene. But in 2016, 17, 18, leftism wasn't selling, so she became a conservative. She was Blexit. So the original owner of Blexit sold Blexit to Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA gave it to Candace Owens. Candace Owens used it as a piggy bank and took millions and millions of dollars out of it and did nothing with it.
Wow.
Yeah. She thought she was the heir apparent to be Charlie Kirk's wife, and then Candace Owens came along. Tucker Carlson or Charlie Kirk did not trust Candace Owens at all. They're going around saying that they're saying, look, here, listen to what I'm saying to you. Charlie Kirk, when we were up in Detroit, Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. And everything he said in the public, he was pro-Israel. But according to Candace Owens, behind the scenes, he was anti-Israel, pro-Gazanian. So if that's the case, if Candace Owens is correct, then Charlie Kirk was a two-faced, duplicitous liar. That's who he was. If Candace Owens is right, she's trying to destroy his legacy because that's not who he was. It's not. You watch how is it that politicians and even Candace Owens, because if you watch, she's reading cues, teleprompters, have to read. If you watch Gavin Newsom, if you watch the cadence of like Akeem Jeffries, the reason their cadence is like that, the reason Gavin Newsom is always talking like this is because he has to wait for the cue cards to go. The cue, he has to pause and let it
Same
catch
with
up.
Obama spoke in
same way.
Phrases of three words.
What does Donald Trump do? Donald Trump ad-libs. When it doesn't catch up, he ad-libs. Well, Charlie Kirk didn't have a teleprompter. Person comes up and asks him a question. He had the answer because he believed what he said. When you believe what you say, when you believe what you believe, and that's what you're espousing, like right now with me, I don't have to have a teleprompter. I don't have to have somebody with cue cards. I can say it with passion, with conviction, with accuracy, because I believe it. When you got these politicians like Gavin Newsom, like Barack Obama, like King Jeffries, like Nancy Pelosi, like many of the other ones that have to have the teleprompter to read their speech as they go along, they don't even believe what they're saying. They're just saying what's been polled as to get the best response out of
And
you.
they didn't read. I'm quite sure that none of them wrote their own speeches either.
No. And you think about that. Who's another great orator that would go off script? Ronald Reagan. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. They took that out of the speech like 3 times, and in the limousine, he wrote it back in. It was not in the teleprompter.
It's a true story.
Yes.
True story.
He was a great ad-libber. He would ad-lib because he believed what he was saying.
Because he was genuine.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly it. And CharLee Kirk was genuine. CharLee Kirk could go and give a speech with no teleprompter, no nothing, and talk about the things that he believed. There's a big difference between people.
2.5 hours at San Francisco State when I went to see him there. 2.5 hours that went on. And most of it, and of course, Riley Gaines was there with him too. She was fantastic. And I'm so glad I got to see her too. But 2.5 hours, and just kept taking question after question after question. What an extraordinary gentleman he was, and I hate what they did to him. I hate it. I was so angry. Mike and I'd never done this before. As soon as it happened, and I'm watching it, and the shock and the anger and everything, and I send Mike a text. Do you want to go on the air and talk about this? He goes, yeah. And we did. We'd never really done that before.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We went live, and that's all we did was pontificate about thoughts and feelings, and anybody.
That was a tough couple of days trying to do a show, because the next day trying to do a show too, I was just like, man, how do I even talk about this?
I was stunned. I was really, truly stunned. Yeah.
That's when I had conversations with God. I was like, what is the deal? What is the deal? And so, yeah, that was, I don't remember if I think Mike said it, my buddy Mike. He said he was talking to God about it, and he said, God said to him that I would gladly sacrifice 100 CharLee Kirks to save millions. So, yeah, he is. Let me tell you something. If Candace doesn't repent, if Tucker Carlson doesn't repent, if Stu Peters doesn't repent, and we're in the season, God told me, praying about this, that we are in the season of finding out what he meant when he said, I will curse those that curse you. We are in the season. Things are going to get ugly for some people. So
it has to. I'm seeing things that I just really never thought I'd see in my lifetime. But especially this animosity and hatred of anything associated with Abraham, basically God's chosen people.
Well, that's a demonic theology.
Obviously,
the Bible clearly doesn't say it, and it we're not going to do it here. We're not going to go through it here. But let me tell you, you send me your scriptures, and I'll send you. I will. You want to challenge me? You can message me on Facebook or whatever. Send me your scripture, but be prepared, because I'm prepared, and I will destroy your argument with scripture. Because
did you see the show I did with? Do you see the show I just did with Arthur Shopper? It's really catching some traction.
Yeah, I watched a portion of it. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing.
I titled the thing. What did I say? Holocaust deniers are idiots. That's the name of the show.
Yeah,
you'll find right now at rumble.com/do not talk.
Holocaust survivor is so anti the Holocaust is because the survivors and the military that discovered them, they're all dead for the most part. There's a and they're older. I mean, they're on their last. They're stepping out the door. So now you can say there was no Holocaust and there's no eyewitnesses to say, yes, there was. I was there.
And by the way, you're siding with Nazis and you're siding with Muslim freaks.
Well, Nazis were just misunderstood.
No, they're communists. That's what they are.
Hitler was just a disgruntled
They're
painter.
Socialists, which is nothing but communism.
Well, they're fascists. And the new communism, by the way, here, since we're going down this road, the new communism, by the way, is the Chinese model, which and the American model, which is commo-fascism. It's a communist Politburo bureaucracy with a fascist economy. Fascism is a socialist byproduct where the government controls the means of production through controlling the corporations. Straight communism is the government controls the means of production, period. They just come in, kill everybody, send them to the gulags or whatever, and take the companies, right? Take the corporations.
Yeah,
Where
and they're getting rid of the
fascism-
mom and pops. They're getting rid of the middle class. They're getting rid of the people who start up
Yes.
businesses,
Yeah, well-
the family-owned and operated businesses. It was
Well,
very
those
successful
people-
during COVID, during the shutdown. Many of them were never able to recover. We lost a tremendous amount of them, at least out here in California.
Yep.
It's a war against
And
the
there's a
middle
reason for
class.
that. There's a
Because
reason
they
for
want the
that.
haves and they want the have-nots. You have to have
Well,
the
when the
have-nots
government
so they can serve the
controls-
haves.
When the government controls the corporations and the non-government organizations for a profit, they can't have mom and pop competing with them. That's eating into their profit and their control. So they want to get
And-
rid of that. That's why. And the other thing is, you always got
And
the
most of these
Walmarts-
business owners, Mike, if I could make this point, most of these business owners and these middle class and family owned and operated businesses, even upper middle class, the business is doing well, they become conservatives. They might have started out as screaming lefties in college, but they quickly learned the last thing I want is the government involved in anymore in my life. And so they flip and they get smart and they start and that's I strongly believe that is another big part of what happened during COVID. Why was Walmart deemed essential, Target deemed essential, CVS deemed essential, but all the mom and pops who were doing the business in their neighborhoods were not, and not even allowed to open their doors. And if they were, they were fined. They have their licenses taken away. I know a restaurant that was owned by a great patriot shut down. The government, the county, shut them down.
Yep.
Because they stayed open and they were not enforcing the mask mandate. They kept calling it a law. That's a lie. A governor cannot make a law. It was merely a mandate, which is for Governor Hairdo basically saying, you better do this or I'm going to get mad. That's all a mandate is. It's not a law. Governors cannot make law. It was a lie. And now what this was just signing into law today, Mike, you can no longer purchase tires for your vehicle that do not meet the what are the standards for fuel economy and so on. Now, all the new vehicles, they meet those standards already. You know what doesn't? Good old boys who like a little extra tread on their tires.
Oh, yeah.
It now in California, you will no longer even be able to buy those tires. Goodyear, Firestone, all these tire companies are going to be sitting warehouses full of off-road tires and aggressive tread tires, mud and snow tires.
No, they're not. They'll just ship them out here to Missouri where they put them all the time. So
that's what they'll do, but at great expense and even more trouble for these businesses. This is insane what's happened here, and it's done. It was signed into law today by that wicked demon who calls himself a governor. And I'm telling you, it's not because they care about the environment. It's because they want guys like me out. They want me out of this state.
Yeah.
They want guys like us out of this state.
And the whole thing is where do you think the money's going to come from?
I want to know where the money's going to.
Well, it's not going to a train. That's for sure.
Not going to a high-speed rail. Well, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. You're saying, I want to know where it's going.
It's going to it, but it's not going anywhere once it gets there.
Right. It's kind of like let me hit the right button. It's kind of like
high-speed rail, by the way, not one inch of track has been laid. And it's been
20 years and $20 billion over budget.
Billions. Yeah.
Here's goes. So Doge has finished cleanup of Social Security. They have removed a whopping 12.3 million scammers from the Social Security system, at least all listed at least 120 years old. So if you look down here, it says 120 to 129, 3 million, 3 1/3 million, 130 to 139, 1.9 million. 140 to 149, 3.5 million. 150 to 159, 1.3 million, and 160 to 169 years old. 169 years ago, Social Security didn't even exist. 124,000, so total 12,302 and 38. And she says if each fraudulent person was making $1,800 a month, then Doge just saved America 22 billion.
That's a trillion,
140
isn't
million.
it? Oh, no,
100,000 million billion.
A
I had to
billion.
count
No,
it
you're right.
myself.
You're right. You're right.
So I responded by asking this question, and the question was this: if these accounts were getting direct deposits, what accounts were they being direct deposited into? Some people responded to me going, just because they were there doesn't mean they was getting any money. It just means it was all accounts were deleted. Then why were they there? Okay, I'll give you that. Let's just say out of 12 million, what do you say? 10% out of 12 million. 1.2 million people were receiving checks at $1,800 a month. I'll bet you $1 to a donut when this all comes out that there is one or two accounts or a handful of accounts that were getting all that money. And then that money was turned around and used because you wanted to talk. We were messaging earlier this week about insider trading. I bet you that money was turned around and manipulated. You see, if you're an individual, if you were an individual who, let's say, held a position in government, such as maybe, I don't know, senator, congressman, a secretary of some urban development of high-speed rail, something like that, and you had a buddy, let's say, that worked for the Social Security Administration that said, hey, Mike, hey, I can hook you up. I can give you 21 accounts. We got 21 accounts sitting over here. And I can hook you up. I'll set these 21. Well, just give me an account number in the Cayman Islands. Open yourself up an account in the Cayman Islands, and we'll make sure that these 169-year-old people that are receiving $1,800 a month, that a handful of them go to you, right? Well, so over the last several years, let's say that you've had these accounts and they've accumulated, a pretty good sum of money, and you decide that you want to take your Chinese spy girlfriend on a cruise, and you need $25,000. Well, you can't go to your Cayman Islands account and just take $25,000 and move it into your account here, because the banks are going to go, excuse me, where'd you get that money? To me, you're going to ask some questions. We don't want to ask questions. We don't want to ask questions. We don't need to be asking no questions. Don't ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies, right? So how do you get that money from your Cayman Islands account to the United States? Well, It's simple. Oh, hold on. Let me get this off the screen. It's simple. You place a bet on the stock market, and your buddies move money into your stock market account. Oh, well, golly gee, you're doing great. You see, that it is not a crime. It is not a crime for congressmen to insider trade. But if you go back to Hillary Clinton and you look at Arkansas and you look at the Rose Law Firm and the Whitewater deal and the $10,000 investment into cattle futures that turned into $100,000 in a month, which never has happened before in the history of cattle futures, well, gee whiz. Now you know. Because it's not a crime it's a crime for me and you, but it's not a crime for them to insider trade. But that's not what they were doing. I don't think so. I think all this money, not just from the Social Security, but there was several million, tens of millions of people receiving checks from payroll, people that didn't exist, that were getting government checks for having a job that didn't exist. So let's just say that you were a vice president of the United States of America. And while you were vice president of the United States of America, you had a little thing going on over in Ukraine, let's just say. And so Real Robert reports, conspiracy theory no more, CIA documents declassified by CIA Director John Ratcliffe confirms, holy crap, the U.S. intelligence community knew Joe Biden's visit to Ukraine weren't official business at all, but rather outright bribery, racketeering, money laundering, conspiracy, and treason. After the visit, the officials assessed that the U.S. vice president had come to Kyiv almost exclusively to give generic political speech and had not had any intention of discussing substance matters with Poroshenko, or that was the president before Zelensky, or other officials within the Ukrainian government. Following the visit to the U.S. president, officials within the Poroshenko administration privately mused at the U.S. media scrutiny of the allied ties to the alleged ties to the U.S. vice president and family of corrupt business practices in Ukraine. These officials viewed the alleged ties of the U.S. vice president family to corruption in Ukraine as evidence of double standard within the United States government towards matters of corruption and political power. The Democrats impeached Trump to distract from the very crimes themselves committing in Ukraine. That was just released, by the way, that Joe Biden, this right here.
And I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they're walking out to press conference. I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. We're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. I think it was about 6 hours. I looked. I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Son of a bitch. Oh, son of a bitch. You are a blabbermouth. You blabbermouth. Blabbermouth. Out. Out.
So there's
what a filthy, arrogant pig that man is.
Yes.
What
And you're not talking about the honeymooners guy.
No, I'm not talking about him. Ralph Cramden.
What he just said there was, if you don't fire the prosecutor that's looking into my family doing all of the, what did he say? Bribery, racketeering, money laundering, conspiracy.
If you don't know, the former president's son had they were paying like a couple of million a year to sit on a board of Burisma, which is a company doing business mining, wasn't it? And oil exploration in Ukraine.
He got $85,000 a month, which is a little over $1 million a year. And but that's not all, by the way. Rosemont Seneca Partnerships, which got $1.8 billion from the Chinese as seed money for investments, had a subsidiary called, if I get this right, Metabiota or Biomedita or one of them, anyways, which got a contract from DARPA to do biological research in Ukraine. Let me say that again. Hunter Biden owned Rosemont Seneca Partnerships, subsidiary Metabiota, got a contract from DARPA to do biological research in Ukraine at the time that Joe Biden said fire the prosecutor that was looking into my son's business practices in Ukraine. Then you had Marco Rubio, nonetheless, and I have the video somewhere, but I can't find it. I don't have it queued because I didn't know we were going to go this way. Asked in 2018-19 timeframe, asked Victoria Nuland, was it 2018? No, it was 2021-22 timeframe. Asked Victoria Nuland, who then worked for the government CIA. Victoria Nuland anywhere in the world that there was a color revolution, Victoria Nuland was involved. There was a color revolution in Ukraine, by the way. It's how Zelensky got into office. He asked her, are there biological weapons facilities in Ukraine? Because that was the accusation that Russia was making. And she said, we have biological facilities. And that's how she said it. Like she's really pondering how she's going to let this come out of her mouth in Ukraine. And she said there was 12 of them. Turns out there was like 50 of them. But you know, what's a number among friends? Where they did gain of function research. And if you watch my show, you know the only reason to do gain of function research is to make weapons. So if you had biological research facilities doing gain of function research, then they were biological weapons facilities, period. That's what they were. And they were working on corona type viruses back in 2014. So yeah, there's that. We're going to find out, by the way, since I'm going down, I know I'm monopolizing the show here. We're going to go down. We're going to find out, by the way, because one of the things that's being said right now is that the Corona-19 was released in Wuhan, but not created in Wuhan, that it was created here in the United States. And then when Barack Obama banned it, it went offshore to other places. That was
including Ukraine.
That was 2014. Yeah. We're going to find out the United States of America made that virus. The United States of America released that virus.
I've heard that from others.
That's
I want to talk about the Stop Insider Trading Act, the HR House Resolution 7008 from Congressman Brian Steele, and how it passed the House, but the Senate no. And how do you say no to this? The reason for why so many of them said no, including some Republicans, is pathetic. But before I do that, I don't want to let this Ukraine thing go yet. I ran across this. Somebody sent this to me. I don't watch Joe Rogan just because I get sick and tired of the language. I'm done with it. But this gentleman was on really talking it up about Zelensky, the president of Ukraine.
I keep asking if I have time. Do I have time to tell the Zelensky story? Sure. Because it's another one. It's just, what is Zelensky? In America, he's a hero. He's a real warrior. He's got that nice green, warrior suit on. Suit. Here's the truth. And people know parts of this story, but they don't know it in its cleanest narrative. So he was a totally apolitical. He was an outsider to politics, zero experience or interest in government or politics. He was a comedian. And with no manifesto, no party ties. And he does a TV show, a planned TV show called Servant of the People. And the main character in the show does a YouTube video that calls out oligarchs and corruption and eventually becomes popular and is drafted as a protest candidate and eventually becomes president. So Zelensky played on a TV show a person who becomes president by popular demand. In real life, the TV show is supported by an oligarch named Kolomoisky, who owned the TV channel. And Kolomoisky did a huge nonstop promo on that TV show to make it the #1 show. Primetime slots and ads everywhere and crossovers with the news and what have you. 2018, a year before the show goes off the air, Zelensky forms a political party called Servant of the People, the same title as the show. And in no press release, secretly done. And then he does another season of the show. And in April of 2019, he announces his actual candidacy on Instagram. He has no campaign, no rallies, no real platform. He skips the presidential debates. Others attended. He avoids press conferences, and the few that he did were in the beginning were really bad. And Kolomoisky's TV channel gave Zelensky's campaign endless airtime and favorable polls and went after his enemies. The U.S. intelligence agencies, CIA and NSA, helped. U.S. spending $5 billion, by the way, on democracy campaigns in Ukraine, funneled through NGOs.
Hate that.
And USAID embeds advisors in his organization to help with the campaign. I'm almost done. And on election day, Zelensky wins with 73% of the vote. And then the war happens with Russia, and he declares martial law, and he ends elections. There's supposed to be an election in 2024. That's what we get for our democracy money. And quite literally, he is an actor in a carefully designed television show. He is a construct, like Epstein is a construct, meaning he's a created entity. And it worked. That is Zelensky, the American hero. I guess his star is maybe fading a little bit now. I don't know. What do you think? Is he still wildly popular in America?
What?
So there you go. I've actually shown video on my show before of that idiot when he was part of and I do think he's an idiot, Zelensky. He's a
he's very famous
creepy little
for his
marionette is all he is. He's not making any decisions. He's not pulling the strings. But he was a cross-dressing freak. That was his big thing. He was always doing these funny cross-dressing dances and dressing like a woman in some kind of comedy group that he was a part of. He's very what now?
He's very famous for his bit.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Oh,
his
you
bit?
got one. Attaboy.
Here's a
There you
bit
go,
where he's
Mike.
playing piano with his pecker.
Oh, that's right. They're howling with laughter. They're crying. They're rolling in the aisles.
There's Zelensky playing the piano with his pecker, because that's what we want our presidents to do.
That's one of the more mild bits that I've seen of what that idiot did, all in the name of comedy. But no, he's a clown. He's been a clown from the beginning, and I'll never forget all those movie stars flying over there while there's a conflict, military conflict, but they're able to just fly right in and get an audience with him. And remember how many there were? They all went over there, and they were just fawning over him.
Well, he was, everybody had to wear the little Ukraine pin and all this stuff.
Then he flew to America, and he posed for what was that, Vanity Fair? He and his wife cover of Vanity Fair. It's just so sick and weird, the whole thing is. And what America has become to me is just appalling. And I'm sad. I'm saddened by the whole thing. It's a cult of personality that we reward people for the stupidest things. Well, I like his smile, so I'm going to vote for him. He's got look at what nice hair, so I'm going to vote for her.
He sounds like a used car salesman, so I'm going to vote for Gavin Newsom.
Vote for Gavin Newsom. It is weird. It's scary, actually. I don't know how we come back from this, but it's all in God's hands, ultimately, isn't it now?
Well, often is. Here's another one for you. Since we're talking about, how bad people are, we've talked about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, and we've talked about some other people. But did you see this one? So, not to be outdone, the biggest masshole there is, Thomas Massie, not to be outdone. Now, all the way down at the bottom was his original tweet where he says, hard to take Nick Shirley seriously until he starts calling out Johnson, Thune, and Trump for funding daycare fraud in every omnibus or CR bill with no guardrails. He's calling out Nick Shirley. Now, Nick Shirley responds right here and just owns him and says, in other words, why can't a 24-year-old solve all the government spending problems? You people in D.C. are the large part of the problem. All you do is complain and whine on X while your job is to actually work for us. I've exposed to save America billions. What have you done?
Good point.
Yeah. To this, Steve Robinson says, hard to take Massie seriously when he's taking shots at Nick Shirley for doing journalism rather than carrying out petty political vendettas. And then this says he's 90 days from hearing Thomas who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did I put the other? I did put the other one. There's another one on there where somebody was responding, pointing out that Thomas Massie this time last year stood out on the steps of the Capitol with Marjorie Taylor Greene and a bunch of Soros and that billionaire from China paid for girls who used to work for Epstein. They were women who would go out and recruit other women. They're claiming victim status now. Oh, golly, we didn't know you were involved. They stood with those girls, Code Pink, and said that they want to release the Epstein files. By the way, 8 million Epstein files have been released, and they're still out there to release the Epstein files.
I thought they've been released.
Yeah, but there actually is, I believe, some more Epstein files.
And the media has ignored them since they've been released, the mainstream.
Well, they
release.
wanted the ones that were in the Southern District, of New York,
New
held
York.
by James Comey's daughter. She was in charge of the Southern District, New York. She held those files. They wanted those ones released because they were doctored. They were a sham. They were fake. That's what Donald Trump was talking about. What did Donald Trump do? Well, they passed a law that said you have to release those Epstein files, but the law said all the Epstein files. So they started releasing those files, and they were looking for the Trump in there. There was no Trump in there, but they were looking. And then on Christmas Eve, 2025, they said, oh, golly, gee willikers, we found a couple of burn bags that didn't get burnt up, and there's 8 million more Epstein files, and they all shut up. And then in January, February, and March, they released the Epstein files, and they started talking about Epstein again. Why did they shut up? Why do you think they shut up? I got a theory.
Let's hear it.
Because they didn't know about those files. They didn't know what was in them, so they couldn't say anything because they were scared to death they'd be in them. But the files came out, and there was really no there. 8 million files, and there really wasn't a whole lot there. Media doesn't talk about it. The blogosphere ain't talking about it. That's because I think there's some stuff that's going to come out. I think they called through those files. And I think they're going to have an October surprise. Oh, golly gee, we found some more files. Look at here. Look what we found. Thomas Massey was down at the island. Or I don't know if he was or wasn't. I'm just saying. But Thomas Massey was crying with Ro Khanna, hanging around with Ro Khanna. Speaking of Ro Khanna, got something for you on that one, too. And Marjorie Taylor Greene and those women that were George Soros, Code Pink, Chinese billionaire paid for on the Capitol. Thomas Massey said that he had names. He had names of highly important, influential people that were diddling children with Epstein, and he was going to go on the House floor.
Like Adam Schiff, he's got the evidence.
And under the protection, because when they do it as official duty, you can't do anything to him. And he's going to name those names. Guess what he hasn't ever done? Named the names. So every time I get an opportunity and I say this, Thomas Massey, I hereby demand that you name those names you said you have. Why are you protecting pedophiles? Thomas Massey is protecting pedophiles because he said he had the names of diddlers that were diddling on the island, and he's not releasing them because he's protecting them because he doesn't want you to know. See how that works? See how you can do that? Isn't that amazing? You can just flip it right around onto them. So
I want arrests. I want perp walks. I want to see ankle chains. I want to see I desperately want to see it. I'm so excited. That's the only good thing about August already being halfway over, and I'm realizing crap. I'm already seeing Halloween stuff in stores, which just irritates the heck out of me. And we're heading into fall, and all the women are going to be all giddy about sweaters and what's their big thing? Oh, pumpkin spice. Everything's going to be pumpkin spice.
I like
oh, here we go.
pumpkin pie. Not so much the pumpkin spice stuff.
But the closer we get,
the church that I'm attending,
the closer we get to seeing these things actually bust wide open. I hope. I'm praying for that.
Oh, it's coming.
I hope
it's
so.
Coming.
That's what Jerome Corsi told me. You know Jerome Corsi is?
Yeah.
He told me that same thing. He goes, watch.
Well,
it'll be before the midterm elections.
Some of it will, some of it won't. Some of it will, some of it won't. Some of it, a lot of stuff's going to happen in November, December, and then a lot more stuff's going to happen next year. But there's going to be some earth-shattering stuff that comes out between now and the election. I think we're going to have the greatest October. So they're already starting to happen. It's already happening. The greatest stuff that you could ever imagine dropping right here before our very eyes. It's off the subject. You were wanting to go towards the insider trading stuff, but
yeah,
do that real quick, and then I'll talk about what's already happening.
Okay. I was very excited to hear about the Stop Insider Trading Act. It's House Resolution 7008. Congressman Brian Steele passed by the House last month. It bans members of Congress, their spouses, and dependent children from purchasing new individual stocks in publicly traded companies while in office, period. And that includes BlackRock, Vanguard. Those are mutual funds. That's purchasing stock, isn't it? It does not enforce divestment of existing portfolios, though. And it passed the House, but the Senate, it's well, look what the Senate's doing. They're floundering and horrific, and I can't wait for. There's got to be change. There just has to be. Anyway, it prohibits lawmakers, spouses. I told you all this. Requires a public notice filed 7 to 14 days before selling any existing covered investments. Fines violators and violators a greater of $2,000 to 10% of the transaction, which to those clowns is really nothing. Alongside the forfeiture of any net profits. I don't want that. I want them jailed, just like Martha Stewart was, or you and I would be.
Wesley Snipes.
Yep. Exceptions includes carve-outs for specific employment compensation, such as a spouse working as a corporate CFO or in the financial sector and pre-existing mutual funds or diversified assets. So that's why in the Senate, so many voted against it, because they said, well, the bill's too weak because it permits officials to retain and selectively sell existing stock holdings rather than mandating complete blind trusts or total divestment. Here's my message to you, Democrats, you filthy, dirty Democrats, and you equally filthy, dirty rhinos who voted against that. And pass this, get this on the books, and then do another one. Do another one that covers that up. They do it all the time here in California. The filthy communists in office don't get what they want. Well, they'll work with this and they'll get that passed. And then the next election, guess what's slipping in there? Something that fills in those gaps. Only theirs is always nefarious and filthy. These idiots. What?
If you just vote harder and give them more money, they'll get it next time.
Oh, you're right. Next time. We'll get them next time.
It's just like Thune came out and said they just don't have the votes to pass the Save America Act, but we can use it to run against the Democrats in November. They'll cheat, you freaking idiot. On these people.
Yeah.
But if you vote harder,
have you heard anybody else in the media actually talking about this, though, by the way?
No, they don't care because
I'm not hearing anybody talking about it.
No, because they don't want to bring it up. They don't want to talk about it too hard. Because if you talk about it too hard, then you just have to start asking questions how these politicians go into office making $175,000 a year, dead broke, and then in 5 years they're multimillionaires. How'd that happen? And even their stocks can't explain it. How'd that happen? And so came in idling.
It doesn't have the votes to pass.
Oh, nothing has the votes to pass.
Read the second time. It's been placed on the Senate legislative calendar under general orders calendar, but they're not in session now anyway, are they?
No, they don't have the votes to pass that. They have passed through the Senate like 3 times in the last several months a bill to stop the war in Iran, which gets defeated in the House.
Yeah, and that's something.
They don't just can't.
And you know what the Republicans are doing right now? John Thune is having them swear in. Somebody volunteered, or a couple of somebody's volunteered to stay behind to open the legislative session.
He's done it
every week
since Trump's been in power.
So my president can't do any kind of presidential appointments.
That's right. It's called a recess appointment. You're allowed to do a recess appointment when the House and the Senate are in recess.
That's how Obama got a lot of things done.
Yes. Reagan did hundreds of them. Obama did hundreds of them. The Bushes did hundreds of them. The Clintons did several hundreds of them. The first term, Trump did hundreds of them. But this term, he's done zero because they've never shut down the Senate.
Right.
This is a
And
Republican.
those are the Republicans. Yes.
They-
Thank you.
they hate
Exactly.
Trump.
We just said
They
it in
hate
stereo.
They want to destroy
They
America.
do.
They're
Yes.
in on it. And
They
that's
are.
what this is all about. Speaking of being in on it, breaking news from today. I talked about it on my show, but there's I'm going to give you the synopsis, but then there's updated information that has just come out that I found. But Eric Swalwell may be going to jail. Little espionage matois.
With his Chinese spy girlfriend, Feng
It
Feng.
says the FBI developed evidence that a Chinese woman with direct ties to that country's China intelligence service had potentially compromised a Democratic congressman from California with sex, foreign interns, and illicit donations. How about that? I guess it's good while you can get it. While she was being recruited to become a bureau informant a decade ago, according to the bombshell memos that exposed another threat to American political system from Beijing. The files chronicling the relationship between Representative Eric Swalwell and Chinese national Feng Feng, also known by her English name, Christine Feng, was declassified by President Donald Trump and released Monday by the White House Government Transparency Task Force as part of the broader effort to unmask foreign threats to U.S. politicians and election systems. By the way, Executive Order, National Security Act on elections inbound. They show the FBI opened a predicated investigation, which is a formal law enforcement inquiry backed by factual basis or allegation that indicates a crime or national security threat already exists. Like unpredicated assessments, the predicated investigation allows agents to use advanced and intrusive methods like electronic surveillance or informants. The files.
Hang on, everybody. It's getting to the good stuff now as they're about to describe what was going on between Swallowwell and his Fang.
Yep, Swallow and bang, bang, fang, fang.
Bang, 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 bang.
The files provide significant new details about the long-rumored relationship between Fang and Swalwell.
Including, here we go.
The FBI initially wanted to investigate the congressman for bribery schemes in which he exchanged donations from Fang for her placing interns in his office.
Planting
planting
inserts in his office.
Yes. I'm sorry. Don't just ignore me. The eventually decided to narrow the case to seek criminal charges only against Fang for making illegal donations to California Democrat through
Not the fact that he took the donations. Okay,
Right,
interesting.
yes. Swalwell
Pathetic.
admitted to
Okay, here we
having
go.
sex with Fang.
Here we go.
His staff
His-
placing Fang's interns in
His
Congress.
staff? What is that talking about? What are they?
Which
what are they-
staff are you referring to?
I don't want to hear about Eric's staff.
Not one like Zelensky. That is
Okay,
the
good.
people that work for him.
The piano staff?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Fang's now listen to the wording of this. This
His
it gets
staff
my-
placing Fang's interns in Congress and not having a strong enough campaign
In
finance system.
Congress. Not just in his
Congress.
office.
Oh, interns in
Congress.
Congress. Oh, thank you for pointing that out.
And not having a
Good
strong
point.
enough finance campaign finance system to detect straw donations, which that's the whole purpose of things like Act Blue. So she allegedly passed through U.S. Citizens conduits, which means she gave the money to other people and the people gave it. That's the straw
I'm
donation.
glad you
thing.
explained. I was thinking it was what you put on a hot dog at the fair.
Yeah, those are condiments.
Oh, I'm
Condiments.
sorry. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
The Justice Department declined to prosecute Fang despite strong evidence of illicit donations after she fled the U.S. to China as the FBI began interviewing her associates and raided her home.
Oops.
The early steps in the investigation were overseen in part by controversial prosecutor Jack Smith,
Oh,
who
that
would later
pig.
pursue Donald Trump on criminal charges. Now,
What a
Jack Smith
loser.
decided not to go after Fang Fang Bang Bang
Of
or
course he
Eric
did.
Swallowwell, but we got to go after Trump. The
And let me ask you
FBI
this too. In
Yeah.
what capacity of at that level of the Federal Bureau of Investigation did no one say put a travel restriction on Bang Bang Fang Fang because we're about to raid her home?
Well, being
She
that
gets
all
her
the-
home raided, but she's allowed to get on a plane and fly to China.
it's almost like they wanted her to leave.
Exactly.
The FBI was recruiting Fang Fang to be a confidential informant through an undercover agent assigned to her. The code name was Rusty Thumbs. Planned to hire her through a cutout company, and was still evaluating her stability as a confidential human source. She could have ended up on January 6th as a patriot, but she left.
Now
the
hold
country.
on a second. Let's back that up. Why would they give her a code name of Rusty Thumbs? Let's explore what that might entail. How do you come up with the code name Rusty Thumbs?
I don't even want to know where she's been putting her thumbs to get them rusty.
It's got to be something very nefarious, doesn't it?
Well,
Rusty Thumbs. Interesting.
well,
No, with code name. Let's think of some of the other code names they could have come up with for a Chinese spy. Code named
Bang Bang
Egg
Fang
Roll.
Fang.
Egg Roll.
Yeah, could have been.
Code name Mushu. Code name Egg Foo Young.
Could have
of
been like
some
the
young guy.
like the picture right behind me, Peking duck.
Peking duck. That would have been a good one. Yeah, Peking. That would have been perfect, actually. Right. Or almond pressed duck.
Yes.
Okay. The last paragraph. FBI knew early on during the recruitment that Bang Bang Fang Fang was tied to China's Ministry of State Security. They already freaking knew. Beijing's notorious intelligence service. That's their CIA, their MI6. The Bureau also identified her parents as MSS agent. Her parents, too. It's all in the family. Boy, the way Glenn Miller played. Knew she was raising money for California Democrats and willing to use sex as a means of getting ahead in the world of U.S. politics.
Well, not only did
Filthy.
she use sex, but the story is that she showed up at Eric Swallow House in a very skimpy dress and said loudly that the neighbors heard it that she didn't have any panties on. And then she spent time in Eric Swallowell's house for a few hours and then left. That's a true story. So they say. Okay, so there's a story. Lots of stuff out on that's been well discussed. It did.
And the
Here
mainstream media will talk about that because, for one thing, if Swalwell was still running for governor of California, you'd hear none of this. But he's not. He is back down.
No, they've already torched him.
I don't know what they did. I don't know what he did to piss off some real higher ups, but obviously it had to be huge. I think here's the basics. So here's my theory. When I'm listening to Xavier Baccaria, as President Slow Joe Biden called him, Javier Becerra, as I'm listening to him in some kind of press conference, and I'm thinking he's just this side of dullard. He's not a smart man. He's not an effective person in any kind of capacity of management, but he's running to be governor of California. He's blown everything that he's done.
That. I mean,
but here's what I think. I think that the Democrats saw the polling that Swalwell is going to be too easy for a guy like Steve Hilton or even Chad Bianco to really dominate in debates, and it'd be real easy to make him look bad, especially with this Chinese Spy Association, which had already broken. That broke while Biden was still president. Remember that. So I think that they saw, and Swalwell was way in the lead. I mean, every idiot in this state was thinking, that's going to be my next governor because I like his hair. And
well, the other problem
I think the Democrats saw it's going to be real hard to keep California with him. Who can we put in there? Who's running in this lineup of morons that goes on for hundreds and hundreds of names? Would be an easy push through merely because he has the right last name, the right skin color, and people know his name, even if it is associated with very bad things. Javier Becerra, Xavier Baccaria. Yeah, he's perfect. I said this when this all started. I don't know if I said it on our show, but I said this on mine. Trust me on this. Javier Becerra is going to be governor of California. I said this like 8, 9, 10 months ago. I said that because I know I'm a lifelong Californian. Unfortunately, I've grown to detest half of my own fellow Californians. I've seen them do one stupid thing after another. I've seen just how shallow and mindless they are with no critical thinking skills, which is why I'm ready just to get the hell out of this state. I don't know if it's any better anywhere else, though. But this clown will be governor. And even with all this stuff that's coming out about him, the media here in California will not cover it. It might make some national news, but people here in California are not going to see all that's about to come out about Javier Becerra. They're not going to see it.
Maybe.
Same with people saying there's no way, as badly as Gavin Newsom screwed up California, there's no way he'd ever win as president. You're kidding yourself. You're delusional. Absolutely, he could win.
He's not.
Absolutely, he could win.
He's not even going to make it that far.
There's a lot of stupid people who will go for it. And when he debated Governor DeSantis, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and Gavin Newsom, that was Sean Hannity's little brilliant thing. And DeSantis owned him. It was embarrassing, but Gavin just lied and smiled right, and his little gravelly, sexy voice, and his little vampire hair, and the women loved him all over the country.
Well,
and he was introduced to a national
audience.
On
MSNBC loved him. Come on.
Yes.
And most of those are dudes anyways.
Those are half the people of our nation.
No, they're not.
Those people.
No, they're not. They're 10% of the people in our nation. The rest is cheating. But
really, then how did Barack Hussein Obama make it for 2 terms?
Because they cheated.
He was devoid of anything other than saying hope and change. He never explained anything. He never said how he was going to do it. All you had to do was read his books to see what he was going to do.
Because they cheated.
Okay. All right.
Because the USAID was funneling the DNC all the money. That's why they're broke right now. They have $0 at the DNC for campaigning in November. Why? Because all their sources of money, like, I don't know, all the dead people, all the 160-year-old people at the Social Security not getting their $1,800 checks no more, so they can make $45,000 donations, $10 at a time through Act Blue. That's why. But Gavin Newsom will not run for president. AOC will run for president. AOC will probably win the most primaries and caucuses, if not all of them, but will still lose. And probably
I pray you're right. I pray you're right about the will still lose part.
Because
she's already setting herself up though by answering that question about being woke.
Oh yeah,
she say?
The woke 1.0. Yeah. So now it's the DSA. But here's the thing. She's going to get all the Bernie's going to come out and support her. Elizabeth Warren's going to support. She's going to get all the communist vote. She's going to get all that. But here's the thing: super delegates. The reason Bernie lost to Hillary is super delegates. The super delegates all went for Hillary. They control the party. That's the way it's going to happen. So Gavin Newsom, you can't run from jail in prison. I mean, you can't run from prison in jail. You can't run for president in jail.
Yes, you can actually. Yes, you can.
Well,
There's
but you can't.
In the Constitution that says you
run, but it's hard to campaign.
Okay.
It's hard to go do your stump speeches.
Uh-huh.
Even Joe Biden had to have all of the Jeeps show up. You know what I mean? So
that's right. Yeah.
But back to Eric Swalwell and little bang bang fang fang.
Okay.
You know, Eric Swalwell was never going to be the governor of California either, because he would have to explain while he was flying out from his home to campaign in Baltimore. Same thing with Adam Schiff.
But yet Schiff is now senator, no longer congressman, now senator, and doesn't even live in the
Adam
state.
Shifty Schiff is now out in California campaigning, running around with Nancy Pelosi and all this stuff. And I'm just curious if he's staying in nice hotels, because he's not staying in his house, which is in Baltimore. Anyways, that's just questions inquiring minds want to know. But here's another. So we got Bang Fang. We got Eric Swallowwell. His career's through. His buddy Gomez, best butt buddies, as Joe Biden would say, from New Mexico, I believe. He's now under health ethics investigation for campaign finance violations and for, being friendly with the ladies, kind of like Eric Swalwell. Everywhere Eric Swalwell went, his best buddy went with him and participated.
Oh, that guy. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Now I remember.
Gomez from New Mexico or Arizona, one I don't remember.
Yeah, his bed buddy.
But yes, that's
comparing
what Joe Biden
notes,
said.
buddy.
They're butt buddies. They're butt buddies. That's what Joe Biden would say. Brokeback Mountain and all that. Anyways, so Bang Fang, she kind of got around.
Round, round, get around. I get around, round, round, get around. I get around, I get around, I get around. All the boys know me because they're Democrats. They give me lots of money and I make them fat.
And y'all complain about my singing. Anyway, there is
that was me as Fang Fang singing the Beach Boys classic.
Yeah, She Love You Long Time. That's Bang Bang.
I love you long time.
With Ro Khanna. So
that's Ro Khanna right there. You're right. The piece of crap from California.
It says down at the bottom, it says, seems like Ro Khanna had first dibs on Fang Fang. And when he was done with her, Fang Fang went after Swallowwell. Some people just get around. But when you're paid
I get
to be
around.
a Chinese honeypot, you honeypot all you can pot. You know what I mean? So Ro Khanna, what did you know and when did you know about, actually, no, let me phrase this correctly. What did you know and when did you know about Fang Fang and her spy network? I don't want to know what you knew about Fang Fang because I'm sure there's a lot to be said and I don't want to know. So anyway, just, lots going on in Washington, D.C. that we don't want to know about.
I do actually. No, I fully do. Yeah.
You do. You want to know?
Here's a difference between Democrats and Republicans. Democrats will never quit. They don't step down. And that's why I said Swalwell must have really done something bad for them to yank him the way they did. And he didn't step down. They forced him out. That was because he was way in the polls, way ahead.
How many suckers are going to?
Yeah, he was forced out. He was forced out because this information was coming out either way. So I think they were damage control. I mean, they knew that there was way too much. They know that
don't step down is my point. Democrats don't step down when they get busted, especially if it's sexual. As a matter of fact, it's a little titillating to their base. They get a little excited. We're talking about Bill Clinton getting that handy. And the women secretly love it, and it's exciting. I wish it was my lips.
Well,
they're pathetic. It's ridiculous. They don't step down. Republicans, even a hint of scandal. Oh, I quit. Okay, I quit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
There's a difference.
I didn't do anything, but I'm quitting anyway. I'm quitting office.
The entire apparatus of government and media will turn on a Republican and take them down. Whereas a Democrat, the entire apparatus of government.
If you let them, all you have to do is just shut up and write it out because the media will forget about it.
Donald Trump shows that you can fight, but Republicans don't have balls, just like the Democrats don't have balls. They just and they don't have the coverage. They don't have the coverage. So there is something to say about that. But the other thing is
they have rentals. They may not have actual testicles, but they rent them. They're services.
I don't see no evidence of them renting them. What do you mean?
Well, they're like noodles. They're like noodles. When you still want a male dog to look like he's got a pair, they're called noodles.
Caroline Levant has more testicle and fortitude than most of the Republicans in Congress.
I'm going to miss her. But I'm hoping Alina Habba is is the choice.
Somebody said Spencer Pratt. Now that would be fun, but I don't think he's a good
Spencer
choice.
Pratt would be extraordinary. Actually, let me take that back. That might be an even better choice. He'd be like, remember Sean Spicer? Sean Spicer came out strong in President Trump's. I don't know what happened to him. Why did President Trump pull the plug on Sean Spicer? I thought he was fantastic.
I don't know.
Man, former Marine, stands about 5'2", all bulldog. He was fantastic, man, going after the media. I loved it.
There's a bunch of people that are not in the Trump administration. You got General Flynn that's actually trying to undercut Trump right now. So I think General Flynn wants to run for president. So you wonder why
doesn't stand a chance.
Why they're
if
not.
He's if he's really believing that, that's nothing but ego, and that's very damaging and disappointing. I hope it's not true. I don't want it to be true because I like.
He's teaming up with people like Joe Kent and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Thomas Massey, and such.
I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen that.
So, other thing in the news, Joe Kent has come out and said that he was trying to investigate into Israel's taking out of CharLee Kirk, and he's all over the media saying this here in the last 48 hours that Kash Patel blocked his investigation into Israel taking out CharLee Kirk. Only there's a little problem with this story. When you're a liar, you're a liar. This is why this dude's gone. Dan Bongino points something important out.
I saw this X post this morning, and I thought to myself, how many suckers are going to continue to believe this? This is at USA. Yep, John. Yep, all caps, of course. And Andy, that means this is really important. Of course, all caps. Investigation into foreign involvement in CharLee Kirk's assassination blocked by the FBI. Whoa, all caps too. Got to be true. That all caps. Kash Patel.
It's got to be true.
Former director of counterterrorism. From investigating the foreign leads into CharLee's assassination. I trust Joe Kent. That's really great. Why would the FBI block this? Joe Kent tells Jimmy Dore, here we go. Isn't he like a comedian? It's like a comedian, right? That he was at NCTC, Joe, and he was blocked from investigating CharLee Kirk's killing after the FBI said it had everything it needed. The case would be transferred to state authorities. Okay, folks, I'm going to make this really simple for you. So again, this is that point of the show where we're reaching a truth red line. If you're not interested in the truth, please stop now because this is going to be really painful. There's nothing you can say to dispute the fact that 3 + 3 = 6, no matter how hard you try, okay? Joe Kent is continuing to insist he was blocked from doing something he's not authorized to do. I can't think of a simpler example. I'll get to I just put it in ChatGPT to make it really easy in case you think like I'm making this up. Joe cannot answer a simple question. What investigative law enforcement authorities or powers you had at NCTC that you were blocked from engaging in? So I put in this really simple one everyone can understand. So if Joe was an investigator into the case that was authorized to investigate the case, then he should have subpoena power or someone, correct? But because NCTC is not an investigative body, I just put this simple question in to help you guys. ChatGPT is like, in case you're stupid, it doesn't say that, but like, here in shorthand, FBI is the investigative agency with compulsory legal authorities. NCTC is there for intelligence fusion and interagency counterterrorism coordination. Can we put flags in the chat? Just put them in advance because this is the most red flag ever. You want to fight with us? We always win. The numbers don't work for you and they never will. Either do the facts. So we're up 2-0. Facts in our favor, numbers in our favor. You want to keep messing around, we're going to keep making you look stupid.
Love that.
So
guy.
there it is.
Really
Joe
do.
Kent said he was blocked from investigating. Only thing, he wasn't an investigator, had no authority to investigate, wasn't his job to investigate. Joe Kent's job was to go like this. His job was to do this. Watch. I'll show you. Yep, that's intelligence. Put there. Yep, that's intelligence. Put it in that pile. Yep, that's also intelligence. Put it in that pile. Oh, more intelligence. His job was to sort intelligence. That's it. That's all his job was, to get the intelligence and say, okay, that goes in the Ukraine pile, that goes in the Russian pile, that goes in the China pile, that goes into the Iran pile, that goes into the Venezuela pile, and then make a report and give it to his boss, who would use that to make a report to give it to the president. That was his job. He was 3 or 4 places removed from the president. He was never in a situation room. He was never in discussions with the president. It wasn't his job. You know, have you ever seen the Sum of All Fears, the movie Sum of All Fears, Jack Ryan?
Oh, sure.
And
Harrison
right at the
Ford,
beginning,
Tom
right at the
Clancy.
beginning, he's a low-level analyst, right? And he says something, and all of a sudden it turned out to be right. So now the boss, who's played by the black guy, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Anyway,
No, not that one black guy. The other black guy. The one that did that one thing with
Morgan
the
Freeman.
black stuff.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
It takes him into the president's office, right? He's in there in the president's office. He's not allowed to say anything. He sits behind him. He's not supposed to say anything out loud. That Joe Kent isn't even that guy because he never gets into the White House, let alone the office with the president. He's the low-level analyst in a back room somewhere. That's who he was.
All that. He's so important. He's so impotent. I'm very impotent. Don't you know how impotent I am?
Yeah, well, if you're, and he's, by the way, he's the leaker. Oh, and the Eric Swalwell stuff. They absolutely are accusing him of leaking massive amounts of information.
He stayed on the, what was that? Intelligence committee.
For years.
He was chairing an intelligence committee. Even after all the whole Fang crap came out.
Yep. For years and 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 years. He was on the Intel committee. Oh, here's another story. Have you heard this one? I got one for you. This is interesting. Gateway Pundit reporting. Let's see if I got the story here. I do. Right
Joe
here.
Kent. Get well soon, Joe Kent. I know what it's like to go through a stroke. I admire that man very much. Get well soon, buddy. Joe Kent. He and his brother started Kent. Yeah.
Here is another story. Caught. Comey's wife texted him meaning of 86 minutes before his 86-47 beach stunt.
Isn't that something?
Did you hear about that? And so
No.
Investigative reporter Paul Sperry posted a damning update.
I know about the shell thing and the rocks and the photo, but I didn't know about the text.
Yeah, to the Jim Comey 8647 beach story on Friday. According to Paul, there's evidence that Jim Comey's wife, Patricia, sent him a Google screenshot of a nonviolent definition of 86 2 minutes before Comey posted his infamous picture of 8647 on Instagram. Okay, so that's the headline. I'll break it down for you. Here it is. So a few minutes before, so James Comey's walking along the beach. We all remember the story. And golly Shazam, there's a seashell formation. I'm going to take a picture of it.
Just ran across it.
Just magic. You know the old story that if you take an infinite number of monkeys and give them an infinite number of typewriters and let them bang away, pretty soon they would write a Shakespearean play. Right? They just get it right. Well, there he is walking on the beach and the wave just pushed up like a SpongeBob cartoon and it said 8647. Golly Shazam. Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk? And then he took a picture of it and posted it. But before he posted it, he said, honey, can you send me something in a text message so I'll have plausible deniability that this does not mean anything violent, even though it absolutely means things violent. That's what happened. Because he's an FBI guy. He knows how evidence works. So now they got a text message from his wife saying, oh, it doesn't mean that. When it absolutely means that. Everybody knows what that meant. Everybody knows. It's like American slang. Yes.
It's also bar talk, though. You 86 bad customers.
I understand, but it started with mafia talk.
I believe it.
Concrete shoes, that sort of thing.
I wonder what it stands for. 86. What's the deal? What's the significance of that?
I saw that. I don't remember what it was now. There was something to that.
It's got to be.
You couldn't Google
thank you,
right
everybody,
now.
by the way, for giving us thumbs up. And we even got some hearts in there. We appreciate that very much. Everyone in the chat room. I've been trying to follow stuff that y'all have been saying, and some funny stuff going on over there too. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for being there. Thank you for sharing these shows, liking, hit the like button wherever you're watching right now. If you're on rumble.com, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever we are right now and you're watching, hit that like button. And that helps with the whole algorithm thing. Social media platform will, if you get some likes and some comments, not in the chat room, but actual comment below, you know how that works. They'll go, hey, these guys are getting some attention, so we're going to help. We want more people to our platform. So these guys are actually getting more people watching. So we'll promote them, and then we'll show up like on their main page. We might even get picked by the editors for an editor's pick. I've had that happen to several of my shows now, which is great. Suddenly, one show got 121,000 views, and it was brand new. I'd only been doing this like a year or so, and it just like kind of went mini viral. And that's all. It's so simple. It doesn't seem like it would have that big of effect, but in the talk show world, it does, I guess, with algorithms. So hit like and comment if you could. 5 words
and
or more.
And in the
preferably.
comment section, while you're down there commenting, hit the thumbs up on everybody's comment, because the trolls will go through and hit the thumb down, and that'll make all that algorithm shrink down if all of the comments are low rated.
You just told me that last week, and I did not know that.
Yeah.
You just told me that last week. That is, see, that's just one more stupid thing. The idiots on the left know this. They battle against anybody who's trying to get a voice out there and maybe affect some hearts and minds to the right way, and as we see it, and they fight against that because they're demonic.
No, you're talking about views and stuff. So my daughter's got a pretty big TikTok account, and she gets 4,000 or 5,000 views and stuff does nothing political, just 18-year-old going off to college, TikTok videos, standard stuff. Well, she went to was it Megan Maroney? Is that a singer? Megan Maroney, country singer, concert in Kansas City this weekend. Her boyfriend got her tickets for her birthday, and they went. Anyways, she made a dress. So she took a dress and she took cotton balls and she glued it to the dress. But inside the cotton balls was a battery operated Christmas light so that it would flash and do all this stuff. So her whole dress would light up, right?
That's smart.
And she posted it on TikTok, and it's got like 900,000 views. It's exploding. I was like, girl.
That's fun.
Fun. Yeah, 900,000 views. And she said they're going through watching all the other views, and all other videos are 10, 15, 20, 30,000 views too. So I said, oh, time to monetize.
And it could be the simplest thing, why people will share something or think it's so funny. And they'll even, as I've had done to me now with shows I've done with 107, I don't get credit for it, but they'll cut up the show and actually do shorts.
Oh, really?
And a short pop. Yeah. And I'm looking at my roll page.
They're stealing your content. Hey, you know what what is it that imitation is?
Form of flattery. Yeah.
But the funny thing about it is they're cutting your stuff up. They'll put it in there, get a better algorithm, and they'll monetize off of what you're doing.
What I'm doing. Exactly. You're so absolutely right.
Yep.
YouTube refuses to monetize me because I have 2 strikes against me. And Facebook just deleted me from the platform, periods. Same with Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So screw them. I'm all about Rumble. I know, Mike, you're still actually on other platforms, and congratulations. I don't know how you've done it,
but I keep it down to a minimum. I'm careful with what most of my other
platforms use code words, and I don't.
Well, I do. I don't also interview some of the people that you interview that are like toxic on Facebook. As soon as their face shows up, it goes boom, you're done. Your history, you're out of here.
John Richardson is one of those people.
Yeah, I mean, their facial recognition algorithms just toasting.
He's not kidding. So, yeah, it's weird. It's sickening because these people in the Silicon Valley, these hapless, soulless, slope foreheaded, slack-jawed clowns with their monobrows are deciding what you get to see and hear and read.
With their mono.
But I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that.
Rumble, the algorithm is determined by the thumbs up, by the reshares, the reposts, and by the chat room. Not the chat room. Well, I don't know if the chat room plays any role. Comments. and then the
Yeah.
thumbs up in the comments. That is how the algorithm is determined. So that's how you get more views and more viewers and that sort of thing. And on
So
X,
anyway, all this to say, thank you so much for sharing and
Yeah.
helping us grow like this. And every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and everything else in between, every Tuesday, Charlie and Mike talk about it. So we're still new. I mean, we've been doing this how long now, though?
it ain't been a half. I think we started February, March, didn't we?
Yeah. So,
After the first of the year, but I don't remember when. I had to go back and look. I know I started personally during the great toilet paper run of 2020. I started like January 14th or something, 2020.
and that's when I first found you. I was something on Facebook when I was still on Facebook, and I was on the radio, and I contact this guy. I have no idea who he is. And I go, "You're funny and you're really dry sense of humor. And would you go on the radio with me?" And he goes, "Yeah." I never thought anybody would say yes. I actually wrote you, I think, through Facebook a message, and so I had you on my radio show, and that's how all that started. But anyway, thank you very much for your support, and thank you for helping us. And you want to change your life for the better in a healthy and absolutely productive way. Click on that QR code right there and use my name as a promo code, and you'll get a nice little 10% discount too on naturally derived products, American made, which is really important to me. We kind of just did a commercial. I don't want to go into another commercial, but and thank you for this comment there. We need to start doing the reels on Facebook, just a minute or two. Facebook seems to be getting kind of a resurgence. They were like old news there for a while, but they seem to be coming back. I should contact them again. It's been a little over a year now since they deleted me off the
You
platform.
should contact them again and say that my attorneys are discussing the revelations about Dr. Fauci and the Fauci ouchie, and that he was lying totally about everything. Speaking of lying, since we're on that subject, we'll get this thrown in here real quick. I actually
Okay.
had this queued up.
Good.
This is just breaking today. It says breaking: major Fauci advisor David Moran, whatever his name is, this guy, pleaded
Moron.
guilty to conspiracy to defraud the U.S. DOJ announces he was involved in hiding federal records during COVID. This is huge. He was like Fauci's right-hand man. He said he could blow the whistle regarding even more would-be criminal activity by Fauci if not for the pardon, which could aid the state cases. So
Can you blow that up? I want to see that. Look at that guy, the guy on top. I realize who he reminds me of.
That's as big.
Wasn't
as
that one of the guys sitting in the balcony making fun of all the Muppets? And the
I
Muppet
think it
Show?
was.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
Cracking all the jokes. Yeah.
That's the guy.
But
That's what he's doing now.
He just pled guilty. He's getting ready to go on trial. So the question is, watch and see if he gets that he's spilling the beans.
Did he get a what? What was that?
He gets a slap on the wrist. You're
Oh,
a bad
slap on
boy.
the wrist.
You're a bad boy. Gets a year or two in Club Med down there with Gasoline Maxwell.
Gasoline.
It gets down there, and you gotta imagine. I just we'll go back to the bang bang fang fang. that the apparatus is probably contagious, if you know what I mean. People like that.
The apparatus is probably contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're talking about STDs?
Oh, well, those things, yes. Like I said, gasoline. It's a fire.
It's burning.
It burns when I pee.
So,
or worse.
Or worse.
And they're not trying to say that they get around, but they love you long time. So
you want me to do my Fang Fang singing the BJ's Beach Boys hit BJ's? I said.
Well,
It's that new hit from the BJ's.
I get around. I get around.
I think we need to record that.
Time.
You need to do one of your little AI cartoons of.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
I'll write that out and I'll sing it and then see if you can make a little cartoon out of it.
Well, I can make it so that you can sing better. I'm just kidding.
I'm not trying to sing well. I actually we used to be a professional singer. I sing quite well. I'm impersonating Fang Fang, how I'd imagine she would. It's not. They all sound like Yoko Ono to me.
Well,
That was
Yoko-
racist. What I just said.
well, it is what it is. They are who they are. So, yeah. Anyway, what else we got? Anything else? Any final thoughts?
No, sir.
I got one final thought that I just want to leave it. I talked about it on my show today, right as I was parting my show today. So I'll part
Okay.
your show with it. And that is, I think I've seen this movie. It says humanoid robots capable of autonomously navigating rugged terrain and detecting people could eventually assist federal agents patrolling the southern border, according to the U.S. robotics company that
Now.
told Fox News Digital it has already demonstrated that the technology to the Department of Homeland Security officials. And I'm just saying, I've seen this movie, and it never ends well. These movies never end well. When you start arming the robots, it's not good.
No, and all these things that people are all excited about now, like flock cameras. Who's paying? That's the one thing I did want to bring up, but then I looked at the time and I went, okay, I might as well not go into this right now.
Yeah, I got an opinion on flock cameras, but most people don't like it.
Who is paying for it? Why is it happening?
Well,
Why is it
taxpayers
so?
are.
I figured we had to be somehow, some way paying for it.
Your local.
Did any of us get any say in it? Did any of us say who are they watching? How are the police officers who are going through some kind of breakup with their hoe spouse able to hack into those cameras and actually follow their little girlfriends around? This is crazy. This is creepy.
The problem isn't the cameras. Who's paying for it? The taxpayer, whether it's your city, your county, your municipality.
To what end? Who's got the contract? Are all the cameras the same? They seem to be all the same. Where are they coming from? Who's supplying them? Are they China?
I'll tell you, Flock Camera is a company. It's a brand.
I figured it had to be.
Like your doorbell.
Why are they coming up with this name? Okay, gotcha.
That's
like your ring doorbell.
It's a company. It's a company. They come to your municipality. Say we put these cameras up, helps with protection, law enforcement, whatever. Okay, here's my problem with it. Here's my problem with the people going around cutting them down and all that other stuff. First of all, you're setting yourself up. They're going to charge you. You know they're going to charge you. Yes, but I'm a freedom fighter. Then fight the law with the law.
How about actually getting registered to vote, Chachi?
Yeah, there's another one. We need to not worry about the flock camera, because while you're all focused on the flock camera, there's 26 drones above you recording everything you're doing.
Right.
Okay. Right. Helicopter, satellite, the whole work. I was talking about on my show. They actually have Cessna-sized aircraft or small jet aircraft right now. The CIA, NSA, whatever. They can fly over at 10, 20,000 feet over your house, and they can force a signal to your phone or your computer, even if they're turned off, and upload or download, let me say that slower for the people in the back, or download information data onto your device, even if it's off. Okay? So you're so worried, focused on the flock camera. You always got to ask yourself, if they're all talking about this, what else are they doing? Here's the problem. We need to beef up our First Amendment, our Fourth Amendment, our Eighth Amendment, our Fifth Amendment, our 12th Amendment. We need to the whole thing. You can't surveil my vehicle unless there's probable cause and or a warrant. So your camera recording my vehicle going down the street means absolutely nothing. You cannot use it against me unless you have probable cause or a warrant, or both. You can't do it. That's just the standard thing it is. You know, they've got drones now. The Sedalia Police Department has drones. Big drones. They're big, right? This is a 30,000 size town. This drone has
remote controlled and unmanned.
It's AI'd. It's AI drone. It has technology on it. Infrared, forward, what's it called? Forward. Where's Marine when you need them? Forward-looking infrared. So FLIR. It has that information that on there. It has other type of sensors on there. They can see into your house and you and your wife sleeping in your bed, they can get a picture of that developed from the systems they have. But here's the thing. They can't do that legally unless they have a warrant. Your information is yours. The Supreme Court just ruled a month or two ago that
they can do it, but as long as it stays unknown and it can't be submitted or admitted as evidence against you in court,
right.
But they can do it.
They could do it. I just told you they could do it. The Supreme Court just
I thought you
ruled
said they can't. Okay.
They can't do it legally.
Got it.
Legally. The Supreme Court just ruled. They were going like January 6th, they're going, if there was a crime, they would say, okay, we want all the cell phone data within a 10-block area of this crime. And there was a particular warrant they called that. I can't remember what it was called. And they were the Supreme Court ruled you can't do that. You can't just go collect people's data because they happen to be in the area. That's illegal. Well, these flock cameras are going to fall under that. Okay. So where you need to push back on this is our rights. No, you don't have the right to record me.
Listen, we tried that for a while with radar detection when they were saying, well, I can't face my accuser. So, and they were having to throw out cases until they reworked this and reworked that.
Yeah, they made it so that, and it depends on where you live, by the way.
Those red light cameras, there were dudes in court fighting against it. This goes against the Constitution.
Again, that depends on where you live, because your radar and your other stuff doesn't have near the effect that. Now, with your radar, right, you're committing a crime if it catches you going over the speed limit. So if your flock camera catches you doing a crime, now you're into probable cause, and now you can argue. That's what lawyers are for. But the problem is what we're finding out is, like you said, the ex-girlfriend happens to be a cop, is those people should be prosecuted. That's what needs to happen. Just like everything else, just like anything else. The problem is
they're already so short-handed. They just talk about slap on the wrist and looking the other way. They're so short-handed for the most part. Nobody wants to be a police officer anymore, that's for sure, or even a sheriff's deputy. But they're having a hard time recruiting people in. It's also nefarious, the whole flock camera thing and the proliferation of it. It just came out of nowhere, and suddenly they're everywhere, and nobody's asking the question: who's paying really for this? What is this company? Who is behind this? Who's getting paid? That's what I want to know. Who's making money?
Well, this company's getting paid by the taxpayer. They go in to the municipality or the county or whatever it is.
So the county didn't have to pay for it, I'll bet. Huh?
Yeah, they do.
I bet that's part of the deal, isn't it?
No, they pay for it. They go in they sign a contract and they say, we'll put up 21 flock cameras around your area to record these places, and you pay us X amount of dollars a month, just like your little doorbell subscription. It's the same sort of thing, except more zeros and commas. That's what it is. And it's not the camera we should be worried about. It's the laws behind it we need to be worried about. The protections that we have, because they don't have the right to just record you driving down the street. They don't have the right to do that. But that's not the camera, because while you're worried about the camera, the doggone drone's following you.
It's all so damn filthy. I just don't know, man.
Well, wait till we get the robots with shotguns. I mean, we get to that point, then what are you gonna do?
Well, that's what brought this whole up when I got off on the
you need to cease and desist.
Yeah, I got off on the flock tangent. But there might be people now going, oh, this is great, fantastic. Yeah, let them patrol the border. That's awesome. Until somebody else is in that tremendous position of power, and they turn those robots against you, Christian.
Well,
and I believe that kind of stuff is coming.
Let's not even go that far down the road. Who makes the decision? You give that robot, that autonomous, rugged terrain robot that looks like a person, give him a shotgun. Who makes the decision to pull the trigger? Does the robot make the decision to pull the trigger? Is there a human interface behind that robot pulling the trigger? Who makes the decision to pull the trigger? It's just like the flock cameras. How are we doing this behind the scenes legally? That's the
Hey,
question.
by the
we have.
way, I will remind you all, if you're thinking, yeah, the robots patrolling the border is a great idea and let them carry
I don't think anybody's
shotguns.
thinking
Do you
that.
realize when the National Guard was deployed down there, and this started back with Obama, when Marines
before
were
then.
being deployed to protect this and that, they were not allowed to have bullets in their guns.
That's
They
right.
did not have live ammunition on
Right.
them
Our
or in
military
their
doesn't.
weapons. It was all for show, is what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
So
I was
robots
over.
carrying.
I was over in Saudi Arabia during the Gulf War, just before the Gulf War started. It's over in Saudi Arabia. We had an LPOP set up, a little lays out. We had one of them little cricket phones, you wind up, like this, and then you answer it. You remember those, right? And
Sarah,
we had an ammo box with a lock on it that we didn't
give me
have
the
a key
sheriff,
to.
Sarah. Ammo box with the lock on it. Sorry.
In that ammo box was one magazine for your M16 with one round in it. No key for the thing. That's the only ammunition we had. Other than that, I had a spear handle for my bayonet. That's it. That's all I had. I was in Saudi Arabia. The little thing chirped. This is a true story. The little thing chirped. Chirp, 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 chirp. I answered it. LPOP, private cook. And they said, blah, 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 CP, whatever. Reports of Sputznats in the area. If you see them, detain them. I said, detain them? With
How?
what?
With what? Yeah.
I said, you'll know they're here when I'm running past the CP. Okay? Click. It was a specialist on the other end. I wasn't talking to a lieutenant or somebody, but detain them, they said.
The point is, though, when the National Guard, and we saw the video of those illegal idiots literally storming the gate and crashing through it, and the National Guardsmen were just saying, get the back. That's all they could say over and over again, as none of them did. And they're holding their weapons like they're actually going to use them. There's no freaking bullets in them.
Yep.
They got nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. Nobody talks about that. So what's going to happen with the robots with their shotguns? Think those are actually going to have anything in them? Why are they carrying shotguns? It's supposed to be a deterrent. All you have to believe me, the criminals know this. We're the ones that don't know this.
Oh, yeah.
We're the ones that fall for this. It's all about posturing. Look, we're doing something. We're doing something.
And how much do
posturing.
those robots cost? But anyways, it's dumb. It's dumb. The whole thing's dumb. Everything's dumb. The whole world is dumb.
The whole world is dumb. You know what, though? There's one earlier I was singing the Beach Boys hit I Get Around in the voice of Chinese spy Fang Fang. Look at this. What's been revealed as some plans for the military right now.
Yoko Ono.
Until they surrender.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I think that's brilliant. I think that'll work just fine.
That'll do it. That'll solve all the problems right there. We don't need any more problems. That's it right there.
Problems. That's it. Is instead of a direct energy weapon, it's a direct Yoko weapon. That's perfect. Okay, my friends, thank you for joining us here. If you can go to nuevalife.com or just click on this QR code, it'll take you right there.
It's no longer nuevalife.com. They've changed that, by the way. It's nueva.com.
Does that mean this QR code is no longer relevant?
QR code still works.
Okay. What is it now then?
It's nueva.com. But you want to go through CharLee. You don't want to go that way. And if you have any trouble, message me at patriotmikeshow@gmail.com, 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 and I will walk you through the process to help CharLee get the credit for it, because I can do that.
And consider not just buying the product to use it and utilize it, which I am now, and I'm very happy I did, because I'm literally not only seeing but feeling the difference. I drove when I got off post, when we got released. I drove 7.5 hours, and they had supplied a rental car for me, so I had to go pick that up and then drive home from there, and that was another 1.5 hours. And so I drove for like 10.5, 11 hours yesterday, and I did it. I had the energy. I wasn't at any point nodding off and going, "Oh, this is too much." This is
what were you
Nueva has changed my life, and
Well, there you
so
go.
I can literally tell you that it is working, and I'm so glad that I found it. Thank you, Mike, for introducing me to it. And now, so if you not only use the product, but you want to join us and actually being a marketer of it as well, you can make some great monetary rewards for it. It's not your classic pyramid or multi-level marketing kind of thing, because there's no buy-in. There's no cost. You don't have to buy a certain amount of product every month or any of that kind of crap, which bothers me so much with all those
You
other
can,
companies.
though, if you want to.
You can if you want to. Okay, all right.
But if nobody sells any product and nobody makes any money. I'm just saying.
Sure. Good point. Good point. I'm letting you know,
It's like
because if
any
you're
other
like me,
business on the planet.
I'm very skeptical of anything that's a MLM or pyramid. I don't want it. I'm not interested.
I
And
get
so this is not
MLM
this is not.
PTSD.
Yeah. So you can use that QR code right there if you want, and it'll get you a nice little 10% discount on product that you buy, and use my name as a promo code, but you got to spell it right. CharLeeSim, just one MONS, S on the end. And that'll get you your discount. So that's it for me, my friend from California.
California. Well, yeah, me too. I ain't got nothing else. So tell you what, I thank y'all. Appreciate y'all being out there. Hit the thumbs up and share. Support our shows. Support both our shows, and support this show. It helps a lot. And tell you what, we will see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, right?
Yep. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America, but most importantly, America bless God.
Amen to that.
Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. Talk about it. Tell the truth. God and country in the booth. We stand strong. We hold the line. Won't shut up. Not this time. Hands on heart, eyes up high. We were made to testify. Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. God and country, we stand right. Truth on fire, we won't hide. USA, USA, side by side. Let them hear us, clear and loud. One small voice can move a crowd. Charlie and Mike, God and country, we stand right. Truth on fire, we won't hide. USA, USA, side by side. Oh,